Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to SHN Sports presentation of Gateway Gator Baseball. Gateway Gators in the area playoff round against the Hallettsville Brahmas. Today, the deciding Game 3. I'm Wally Harmon along with Efren Sanchez. Live from San Marcos High School, home of the Rattlers here in San Marcos, Texas. Beautiful facility, all-turf field with a dirt mound. The Gators are on the field warming up now. Hallettsville just completing. Efren, we're here after two wonderful baseball games yesterday. Gateway pulls a win in Game 1, 2-1, and Hallettsville comes back in Game 2 yesterday, winning 3-1 to force this deciding game.
Yeah, as advertised, Wally, yesterday, just two high-powered teams playing at a very, very high level. Two close contests, the Gateway Gators winning 2-1 in that first contest. It was 0-0 a long way through the game. Towards the very end, finally, the Gators broke through. The Brahmas came through in the bottom of the seventh there and put a little scare into the Gators, but a very well-pitched game, defensive game. It was, for you baseball purists, it was an outstanding contest to watch. And then on the second game, it was the Blue Dow show. The Hallettsville Brahmas just really put it on the Gators. I think it went 3 for 4. So he was just outstanding. He did all the damage early on. But, Noah Krieger made the adjustment, started using some of his off-speed pitches, and then he tamed the Brahmas the rest of the way. But the Gators just could not get anything going. In a couple innings that they did, some miscues on the base paths hurt them. But I think in today's contest, what we're going to be looking for is pitching. The pitcher today that doesn't put people on, that doesn't walk anybody, is probably going to win this contest.
Gateway comes into the game as the runner-up out of District 25 3A with a record of 23-7. Hallettsville representing the District 28 3A with a record of 29-3-1. Efren, the winner of this, goes on to face Yoakum, who beat Marion 2-0 to advance. And so the winner here knows who their opponent is, but the problem is you got to get through this game. We'll go through the lineups here real quick. For the visiting Gators, Gateway will be the visitors. Lost the coin toss yesterday afternoon. The Gators will play in the white pants, orange jerseys, green hats with the orange bill, and be batting out of the first base dugout. Hallettsville will be sporting the all-white uniforms with maroon lettering, white hat, maroon letters on the hat with a maroon bill on the third base side. Starting for the Gators, in center field will be number 6, Chris Barlin. Batting second will be the first baseman, number 2, Gabe Dixon. Batting third, the right fielder, number 14, Noah Krieger. Batting cleanup for the Gators will be number 12, the third baseman, E.J. Sanchez. In the 5-hole, the shortstop, number 3, Nick Chalman. In the 6-hole, moving up today, in the spot from 7 to 6 will be the DH, number 21, Jack Bumpus. And in the 7th spot will be the catcher, number 18, Sawyer Scott. Followed by the pitcher on the mound today for the Gators, number 9, Cole Johnson. And the 9th batter for the Gators will be number 10, the second baseman, Simeon Harmon. So the Gators will go Barlin, Dixon, Krieger, Sanchez, Chalman, Bumpus, Scott, Johnson, and Harmon. For the Brahmas, they'll start the lineup pretty much the same as they did yesterday. Not many changes for either team coming in. At the top of the lineup for the Brahmas will be the center fielder, number 1, Jace Bluda. And the number 2 hole will be the right fielder, number 4, Trace Jordan. Followed by the pitcher today, number 8, Rhett Trilicek. The cleanup hitter will be the shortstop, number 23, Ryan Targach. In the 5-hole will be the catcher, number 25, Grant Nicely. Hunter Lacqua, the pitcher of Game 2 yesterday. He'll be at third base wearing number 13, batting 6th. Followed by the second baseman, number 18, Case Thigpen. In the 8th spot will be the designated hitter for the Brahmas, number 17, Ryan Hermis. And in the 9-hole will be the first baseman, number 10, Ryan Schindler. So for the Brahmas, we'll have Bluda, Jordan, Trilicek, followed by Targach, Nicely, and Lacqua, and Thigpen, Hermis, and Schindler. Like you said, Efren, the pitching yesterday was just spot on. The pitchers for the record for the Brahmas, Targach got off in Game 1 and pitched a beautiful game, followed by Lacqua. And Lacqua just up and down, doing a great job. And the Gators came with Thomas Hewell pitched at Jim, followed that up with Noah Krieger on the mound in Game 2, and what a battle. And so hopefully today Trilicek and Johnson will go at it again and see what they can produce here in this deciding game.
Yeah, Thomas Hewell yesterday in that first game, I don't think anybody doubted him, but he's such a bulldog on the mound. I mean, if you hold this Hallettsville Brahmas team and you shut them out. That's something that they're not used to. So just an outstanding job by Thomas yesterday. And today, if you're a Gateway Gator fan, I mean, here's the deal. Cole Johnson's on the mound for you in a field where last year we were in this same position taking on a top-rated, top-ranked Marion team and eliminated them on this field. So I think mentally there's really an edge there for your Gators to come out in a place where they're familiar, where they've had success. And again, here's your senior, Cole Johnson, been there, done that. He carried us through the season last year to the success that we had. And so there's a bit of calm, I think, when you know that Cole Johnson's going to be on the mound.
Good matchup here between the Brahmas and the Gators. Both pitchers, seniors. Both have been there. Both have had several years to prepare, and this could be their final send-off, and should be a good battle. Both teams will attack the ball. Both teams swinging away. Yesterday, I tell you what, good defense was played. Some great plays at first base by both first basemen, digging throws out. Just all around, two good baseball games, and so be exciting to see what happens here as they finish up the warm-ups and do the announcements to start the game. One thing that's exciting to see as a Gator fan is Brandy Chalman in the crowd today.
Yeah, baby. Just a standing ovation here from everybody up in the booth for Brandy. Such an inspiration to me, an inspiration to this ball club, and an inspiration to her son, our prized shortstop, Nick Chalman. For those of you that are not aware, Brandy right now is having a battle with cancer, and so our hearts are with her and the Chalman family. But once again today, we are going to celebrate that Brandy is here with us, and just could not be happier to have her here in the stadium cheering on our Gators.
And just thinking, 27 hours ago, Brandy was in the hospital having surgery. So great to see her out here today in the crowd. Hopefully a good performance by the Gators for her. And so what we'll do now is the teams finish up their warm-ups and get ready to announce the lineups to the crowd. We'll take a break and get a short message from our UIL and be back with you soon here on SHN Sports.
League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of these sponsors, many UIL activities would not be possible. The UIL gives special thanks to Balfour, Baylor Scott & White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Spalding, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community, and enjoy the game.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special, but there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games too, like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Texas. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph!
Yeah!
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh,
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Texas who play more than one high school sport are more likely to excel. Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play, and you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gator baseballs game here against the Hallettsville Brahmas. Game 3 of the area playoff series here. San Marcos High School in San Marcos, Texas. Pretty neutral site. 66 miles from Hallettsville, 58 miles from Georgetown per the Google Maps. Good location. Man, what a wonderful facility here at San Marcos High School. Beautiful baseball field. Field where we played on, like I said, all turf, dirt mound. 325 down the lines, 385 to dead center with the raised green wall in dead center. Gateway in the first base dugout getting ready for to hit first. In the top of the first inning here, we had an extended meeting there at the mound between the umpires. Got a 4-man crew working today, Efren, just like we saw yesterday. Nice to see.
Yep.
And good coverage there on the field for the game. Give the best opportunity for the teams to have a good fair game.
Yeah, I like when UIL does that and gives you the first kind of first-class treatment here on the playoffs.
Game right before ours, also out of our own district, Gerald Cougars play the Puff Pirates. What a game.
Yeah.
10-9 in 10 innings.
Yeah, it's amazing. You kind of get a sense that it's going to be one of those days here in San Marcos, Texas high school playoff baseball. Exciting stuff. Here, just as a side note, Wally, the Hallettsville Brahmas faithful have filled up their side of the stands, and the Gateway Gator faithful have filled up their side on the first base side here. So all eyes on Rattler Field here for this matchup of two really titans in the 3A classification with your Hallettsville Brahmas and your Gateway Gators, both just very, very solid baseball programs facing each other here for the opportunity to move on. So it's going to be a good one.
We'll take a quick break. They'll finish the starting lineups here on the PA system for the crowd, and we'll be back for the first pitch here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gators baseball here in San Marcos High School in San Marcos, Texas. Hallettsville warming up on the field, getting ready for the top of the first. Gateway will come up to bat. Bring up 1, 2, and 3 hitters to start the ball game. Chris Bartlett, Gabe Dixon, and Noah Krieger. Krieger comes into the game for the series so far, 2 for 6, a sack bunt, 1 base on balls, an RBI, and 1 strikeout. Basing a senior on the mound for the Brahmas, number 8. Rhett Trilicek. The fun begins.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I'm pumped up for it. I think sometimes as the fans, we're a little bit more nervous than the players are. But here we go, Chris Varlin up to bat, and let's see if Chris can continue to build on his very good offensive year, batting .391 as in the leadoff position. Let's see if the Gators can't jump up on the Brahmas here early. Something we were not able to do yesterday, and put some pressure on this Brahma pitching staff. I know that they probably sent their 2 top guys to the mound yesterday, so this is going to be a situation where the Gators can jump ahead and see if we can lengthen their rotation here a little bit.
First pitch from Trilicek, a little high and outside. Ball 1 on Chris Barlin. Second pitch. Catches the outside quarter for a strike, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, what you want to see from a leadoff hitter is for him to see a couple of pitches and help his team out.
Trilicek in the windup, and outside a little bit there on the breaking pitch for a ball. 2-1 to Barlin.
Chris coming up with a couple of clutch hits yesterday, the big one in that game 1 to give us that 2-run lead.
Trilicek delivers, and Barlin fouls it off down the third base line, foul to the coaching box. For strike 2. It'll be a 2-2 count to the leadoff hitter. Barlin here in the top of the first. Game 3 of this deciding game here of this 3-game series between Hallettsville Brahmas and the Gateway Gators. Barlin steps in, pitch is thrown. Barlin hits a nice line drive, snagged by Schindler at first base. What a play by Schindler. He continues the play at first base for the Brahmas for the first out of the inning here for the Gators.
Yeah, Schindler playing a great first base. Him and Gabe Dixon yesterday, both highlights, flashing the leather over there at first base. That ball was hit really hard. Nothing more that you want to see from Chris there. Hit it hard to the first baseman. Problem is he's a tall guy, so he was easily able to snatch that one out of the air. But that'll bring up Chris Dixon.
Gabe Dixon steps in to face Trilicek. First pitch and grounds it to the third baseman. Lockwell grabs the ball, fires across to the first baseman Schindler for the 5-3 putout for the second out. Dixon wasting no time there. Takes a swing at a good first pitch. And like yesterday, we saw it from the pitchers so far in this game. Trilicek going in quick, trying to work ahead of the batters.
Yeah, I noticed that here early on. Same as what they did yesterday is pitchers are rhythm guys, and so they want to get into a rhythm. It'll be up to the Gators to step out and create their own time in the plate and own the situation.
Noah Krieger steps in for the Gators in the 3-hole. Takes a first pitch strike. Noah steps in 2 for 5 yesterday, hit by a pitch and struck out once. Trilicek fires the second pitch and fouled off back behind the plate on the ground by Krieger. Jumps into a quick 0-2 hole here against Trilicek in the first inning.
Yeah, once again, when you're facing Shorty Cook's guys, they're going to be prepared. They're well coached, and one of the things that he does is you can tell he coaches his guys to work fast and get themselves into a rhythm.
And Trilicek fires in a ball on the outside quarter. Krieger swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down for the Gators in the top of the first. Take us to the bottom of first after this break. You're listening to Gateway Gator Baseball on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Gateway Gator Baseball here in San Marcos, Texas, in the campus of San Marcos High School. Gators getting ready for the bottom of the first. The Brahmas will be coming up to bat, bringing up their first three hitters, Bluda, Jordan, and Trilicek. Efren Cole Johnson steps on the mound for the Gators. Like you said before, been there, done that. And here's his chance to lead the team. It's on his shoulders here. Let's see what he does here in the first inning.
Yeah, you'd like to see a little bit of what the Brahmas did there in that top of the first inning, for Cole to get in a groove and just pump strikes. I'm pretty confident that he will. Again, Cole's a senior, been there, done that, and so his experience should be a plus here for our Gators.
Bluda steps in 3 for 8 on the series, 3 for 4 in game 2 yesterday to lead the Brahmas. He steps in to face Cole Johnson. First pitch. Then they're low for a ball. Bluda did a great job in that second game. Man, he forced the issue out of the box, quick out of the box on his hits. Found the gaps in the outfield. Takes pitch 2, low and in the dirt for a ball. 2-0 on Bluda. And Bluda it was funny, after a rough first game, controlled well. Hewell pitched a great game. He went 0 for 4, and he wasted no time leading off the first inning for the Brahmas yesterday in that second game with a base hit. And steps in here, 0-2, or 2 balls, no strikes. And the ball a little bit high there. Called the pitch a little high. Ball 3. 3-0 count on Bluda to start the ball game here in the bottom of the first. 0-0 score. Cole Johnson pitching from the stretch for the Gators. Comes set. And high. A little bit high there. And the walk. Bluda runs down to first base. And it'll bring up the second batter, Trace Jordan. 0 for 5 yesterday with one strikeout and walked once. The right fielder here for the Brahmas.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you didn't want to see here with Cole Johnson, is a 4-pitch walk to start the game. Want to see Cole kind of dial it in here and start pumping strikes. He has a good defense behind him. Certainly in the infield, they have a very good defense. So you want to see him push the issue here, throw some strikes, and let these Brahma hitters put the ball in play and let his defense help him behind him.
Cole Johnson comes set. Trace Jordan in the box. Bluda gets a lead off at first base, and the pitch. Inside corner for a strike. Good job of Cole there, coming right back towards the second hitter and going after the batter early. Gators will be playing a pretty much straight up left field and right field in the same spots. Chris Barlin about 5 steps left of second base for the Gators in center field. Johnson fakes to first base, no throw. Bluda back in safely. And we'll reset. Trace Jordan back in the box for the Brahmas. Bluda gets his lead off at first base. Cole Johnson set on the mound in the stretch. Look at first. Pitch low and outside for ball 1. A 1-1 to Trace Jordan.
Seems like yesterday in that game 2, Wally, the Brahmas were a little bit more aggressive on the bases. Let's see if they're going to do the same here today.
Bluda gets a little bit bigger lead at first base. Johnson comes set, pitches. Bluda takes off on the pitch, and Jordan will foul it off down the right field line, up and out of play for strike 2. And there it was, Efren, the hit and run. Bluda took off immediately, and Jordan protected his runner.
Yeah, and I think that yesterday what Shorty saw is he saw that he was able to get some pretty significant leads there, and so I think that he's going to go ahead and stay with that plan. As I say that, Cole throws back over to first and holds the runner close, so good job there managing the game. As a pitcher, you want to have control here, and you want to keep him as close to give your catcher a chance. Good job by Cole keeping an eye on him and not letting him get too big of a lead over there.
Throw over, safe was Bluda. He'll reset and take his lead off the bag. Jordan back in the box, and Johnson comes set on the mound for the Gators. Bluda with a good lead off first. He's off with the pitch. Scott throws down, and the tag by Simeon Harmon, the second baseman for the Gators. That'll be the first out as Bluda is caught stealing for the first time in the series. Great job of Sawyer Scott to come out, get the throw down, and the tag applied by Harmon at second base.
Yeah, and give the credit to Cole there on the previous attempt when he threw over to first base. Again, it's that one step is the difference between being caught stealing and then, again, nice job by Sawyer to get the nice throw down to the shortstop. Nick Chalman put the tag on him. It looked like he bounced there before he got to second base, so maybe slid a little too early. In any event, good news for the Gators is they get the second out of the inning.
And we missed it. Strike him out, throw him out. Great job by Sawyer Scott. Cole pumps the third strike of the bat for Trace Jordan. Strikes out looking, throw down, and gets him out there. So now steps in Rhett Chilicek. He'll take a first pitch for a ball. Second pitch from Johnson to Trilicek is also a ball. 2-0 the count for Trilicek.
All right here, Cole, nobody on base. You want to see him attack the zone here and challenge Trilicek, put something in play.
Johnson fires Trilicek, checks a swing. Let a called strike. 2-1 count now on Trilicek. Hey, that was a great job by Sawyer Scott, sophomore for the Gators. Did a great job there. Frames the pitch, comes up quick. Pop-up was good. Throw was on point. Right to Harmon at second base for the tag to get the Gators that quick 2 outs there. Next pitch from Cole Johnson, a breaking ball. Gets it in there for a take. Trilicek not swinging there. 2-2, so now we have a even count. 2-2 on the board here in the bottom of the first. 0-0. Brahmas are the home team. Trilicek, the third batter for the Brahmas, steps back in. Johnson set on the mound and delivers. Wow, pitch inside a little bit, I guess, for the liking. It'll be ball 3. Full count coming to Trilicek. Great pitch by Cole. Yesterday we saw it a lot effort. The corners were controlled by the umpire very evenly, but very giving. And so we'll see today. They're going to keep testing those corners to see where this umpire goes.
Yeah, I really like that pitch that Cole just threw there to Trilicek.
Base hit by Trilicek. Pitch delivered by Johnson. Trilicek just drives it right past the mound, out of the reach of Cole Johnson. Simeon Harmon sliding to his right, trying to make a stop. Gets past him into center field for a base hit. Nice job of hitting there on the full count by Trilicek. That'll get another runner to first base with 2 outs for the Brahmas. Trilicek, the pitcher, will be courtesy run for. Kyler Kabanitz will be the courtesy runner at first for the Brahmas. With Trilicek getting on base, it'll bring up the number 4 hitter for the Brahmas. The shortstop, number 23, Ryan Targach. He steps in. So far in the series, 3 for 6 yesterday with 1 strikeout. Targach, a good ball player. Pitched the first game, played shortstop the second, and clean up better here. Got to be careful here where we work with him in the bottom of the first here with 2 outs, a runner on first base. As Targach steps in from the left side, he'll be batting lefty today. A right-handed thrower, but a left-handed batter.
Yeah, Targach, a good-looking pitcher yesterday, and like you said, in the field also did a nice job. Good ball player.
First pitch to Targach, low for a ball. 1-0 on Targach. Kabanitz, the runner at first, gets a lead off. Cole Johnson throws back over to Dixon. Kabanitz back in safely. Good job of keeping him close. Like I said, surprised they didn't run early, and then the very next pitch is when Bluta took off. And so Kabanitz doing the same thing here, just stretching that lead a bit, getting a little bit of the attention of Cole Johnson on the mound. Kabanitz back with the lead. Targach back in the box. Cole Johnson set on the mound and delivers. Outside corner gets the strike call. Evens the count at 1-1 on Targach.
Yeah, so far Cole here looks like he's dialed it in a little bit more, pumping a little bit more strikes.
Kabanitz with his lead off at first. Targach back set. Johnson delivers. Targach takes a swing and grounds one foul down the first base line towards the first base coach. Out of play. We'll reset here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Targach. Good job of Johnson here working ahead of Targach in the bottom of the first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brahmas with 1 hit in the inning so far. Kabanitz on first base, the runner for the Brahmas. Johnson set. Pitch in, and Targach takes a swing, hits it into center field. Varlin ventures over about 10-15 steps to his left, and in a little bit of right center field, makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So after 1 inning, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on for the Brahmas. That takes us to the top of the 2nd here after our quick break. We'll bring back the Gators in the top of the 2nd here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Gateway Gator baseball here in San Marcos, Texas, in the home of the San Marcos High School Rattlers. Beautiful facility we're playing today for the Game 3 of this playoff series between the Gateway Gators and the Hallettsville Brahmas. Head to the top of the second inning. Gators will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 holes. E.J. Sanchez, Nick Chalmers, and Jack Bumpus. Sanchez, number 12, plays third base for the Gators, steps in. And Trilicek quick to work from the windup. First pitch in, and a strike. Start the count off 0-1 for Sanchez. As he watches the first pitch. Nice pitch by Trilicek. Trilicek worked quickly in his warm-ups. Only threw a couple of pitches and was ready to go. Winds up again. Delivers. Sanchez grounds the ball with a high bounder to the pitcher's mound. Trilicek comes off the mound, fields it, makes the play to first. 1-3 on the putout for the first out of the second inning. That'll bring up Nick Chalmers for the Gators. Nick went 1 for 4 yesterday. A couple of strikeouts, a base on balls, and a sacrifice bunt. Chalmers steps in and can get hot at any point. Today would be a great time for that to happen.
Yeah, Nick down the stretch really warmed up there towards the end of this regular season. Hopefully he can keep that going here today. Really could use one of those Nick line drives here.
Trilicek steps up and fires the first pitch taken by Chalmers. Outside corner, called a strike. Starts him off 0-1 again. Trilicek not afraid to work ahead in the count. He's done it almost in every hitter so far. From the windup and delivers. Pitch a little high. Chalmers takes it for a ball. 1-1 the count. Chalmers steps out, gathers in, back in the box and readies. Trilicek from the windup and delivers. Inside, Chalmers doesn't swing. Checks the swing. They check down to first base. No go there. Good job by Nick to hold off there on that inside pitch and moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Nick showing some good plate discipline right there, not chasing, trying to get him on board here.
Trilicek comes back to the inside quarter. Chalmers takes it for ball 3. 3-1 count. First time we've seen Trilicek ball behind a batter this early part of the game. It's only in the top of the second inning. He's only faced 5 batters now. This is his 5th batter. But Chalmers doing a good job of being patient. Trilicek fires in a nice pitch fastball there, and Chalmers fouls it off back into the backstop. Or strike 2. Top of the second, 0-0 score. Gateway batting in the top of the second. 1 out. Full count to Nick Chalmers. Settles in and Trilicek delivers. Chalmers fights it off. Inside pitch. Nice pitch by Trilicek, but a great job by Nick. Turn on that pitch, knocked it foul, stay alive.
Yeah, good job by Nick to extend the at-bat here on that 3-2 count. We're going to do it all over again.
Chalmers gathers himself, readies himself back in the box. Trilicek set on the mound. Trilicek fires, and Chalmers fouls another one off back to the left there towards the Brahma dugout and stays alive again.
Yep, good battle going here by Nick. See if he can win it. Nice thing about getting Nick on base is he does have speed, and so he's always a threat to steal a bag as well.
Absolutely. Chalmers settles in. Trilicek delivers. And pitch number, looks like it's going to be a base hit in the gap. Great shot by Nick Chalmers. Right fielder cuts it off. Chalmers turns first, goes to 2, and he slides in safely. Great job by Nick Chalmers. What a battle at the plate. Fouls off a few pitches. Trilicek delivers. Chalmers comes through with the double.
Exactly with the doctor order there. Nick Chalmers hitting it in the gap. Good job by the right fielder there to get a good angle there and get it back in and still make a close play at second base. A lot of right fielders may have let that one go to the fence, and that would have been trouble. But nonetheless, the Gators have something cooking here in the top of the second with the batter, Aaron Werchen, coming up.
Jack Bumpus, the DH for Aaron Werchen today. Jack Bumpus steps in, number 21, from the left side of the plate. Jack the lefty steps in. Chalmers gets his lead off at second base. Trilicek from the stretch now. Comes set and delivers home plate. And Jack Bumpus grounds one to third baseman. Lockwood does a great job of fielding it, looking Chalmers back to second. Makes the play to first for a 5-3 putout in the second half of the inning, keeping Chalmers at second base. Great job by Lockwood there. Fielded it, had time, looked Chalmers back, and then made the play.
Yeah, and once again, Jack Bumpus coming through. I know that didn't advance the runner, but boy wonder, Jack Bumpus just getting called up from JV has done a great job last night and here through the last part of the regular season. Where the bottom of this lineup was struggling a little bit, Jack Bumpus has fielded, but in that event, he wasn't able to get him over, but still made good contact. Good to see from the young man.
Brings up the catcher, number 18, Sawyer Scott. Sawyer steps in and takes ball one from Chilicek low. Tell you what, you were right up on that play. That ball hit by Chalman. Trace Jordan did a great job of ranging over, builds it barehanded, and tries to make a quick throw into Targach at the base. Chalman just quickly, never hesitated around first base and made it safely. But a great play there to cut that ball off. Scott back in, pitch from Chilicek. Scott drives it to left field. Up with the ball, throw to the plate. Chalman tries to score and thrown out at the plate. What a throw from the right fielder, Klimacek. Klimacek throws it, comes in quickly on the ball. They're playing shallower in the outfield. Builds it and makes a clean throw to the plate to nicely puts the tag on. And Chalman put out for the third out of the inning.
Yeah, that's one of those where you can play Monday morning quarterback. Coach would have held him up there. Seemed like it was hit too hard to go ahead and send Nick. But in this type of situation, I think you have to be aggressive and you have to challenge that defense to make the perfect throw. But you are facing the Hallettsville Brahmas, and they are a very good team. Perfect throw into the plate, gets Nick at the plate, but nonetheless, the Gators put a scare into the Brahmas here early, which is something that we did not do yesterday.
So we have right there, base hit in the books for Sawyer Scott. The Gators in the top of the second, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. And that'll take us to the bottom half of the inning when we come back here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Gateway Gator baseball here in the area playoff matchup between the Hallettsville Brahmas and the Gateway Gators. Gateway had their scoring chance there in the top of the second inning, but Chalman thrown out after a great throw by Klimacek from left field for the Brahmas. 2 good plays there in the inning by the Brahmas. Trace Jordan in right field and Klimacek there making the throw to home plate to get Chalman.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story here is with these Hallettsville Brahmas, they're very solid defensively, and you're going to have to take your chances.
Nicely steps in the catcher for the Brahmas. Takes a hack at the first pitch, high to left field. Aaron Werchen ranges over to his left a few steps and hauls it in for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second for the Gators. Nicely has been an aggressive hitter. He had a beautiful base hit there in the second game yesterday down the line. Not afraid to swing that bat.
Yeah, he's an imposing-looking figure, too. He's like a little Babe Ruth out there, and every time he puts the bat on the ball, it seems like it's got a chance to get out. But nice job of Aaron Werchen ranging over and making that play in left field. Nice efficiency by Cole Johnson, challenging the hitters once again with a quick first out.
Hunter Lacqua steps in for the Brahmas, the third baseman today, number 13. From the right side of the plate, Cole Johnson pumps in a fastball to start the count off, 0-1 for Lacqua. Lacqua did a great job yesterday pitching that second game for the Brahmas. And back to third base in game 3. Steps in, Cole Johnson delivers, and Lacqua will hit the ball. Ball skied up in the middle infield. Harmon ranges out and makes the play. Deep out, shallow outfield, deep infield, and makes the catch back behind the base for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, nice efficiency again. We'll take this kind of inning anytime, minimizing Cole's pitch count. So quickly, 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning.
3 pitches, 2 outs in the bottom of the second here for Cole Johnson. Great job of pitching there. And that'll bring up the second baseman for the Brahmas, Case Stigpen. He steps in, facing Cole Johnson from the right side. First pitch from Johnson. It'll be low for a ball. 1-0 count. Thigpen comes in today 0-5 yesterday. He had a 1-sack bunt, struck out once. The Gators did a good job of keeping him off balance. during the 2 games they played. Johnson settles in, fires pitch number 2, taken by Thigpen for a ball. 2-0 count now to Case Thigpen. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Brahmas up to bat. 7-hole hitter, Case Thigpen, the second baseman, steps back into the box from the right side. Settles, Johnson fires. And down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Brings the count to 2-1 to Thigpen.
Good job of Cole battling there. Gets behind in the count, 2-0, comes back with the strike. You want to challenge the bottom of this Brahma order.
Johnson sets and delivers. Thigpen takes a cut at it down the right field line. Krieger ranges over, makes a diving attempt, can't make it. Gets past him all the way out, almost to the wall. Thigpen circles second, headed to third. Krieger fires the ball into Chalman at second base. And Thigpen will stand with a triple on third base for the Brahmas with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where as a right fielder, and you said that's Noah Krieger out there, you do not want to leave your feet. That's a cardinal sin, especially when it's going through the line. Unless you are absolutely certain you can make that play, that is a dangerous play to make. But Noah does leave his feet there, allowing the runner to go from having a double to a triple. The nice thing about it is Cole's got 2 outs here, so he's only 1 pitch away from getting out of this. But the Brahmas threatening here in the bottom of the second.
Number 17, Ryan Hermes steps in, the designated hitter for the Brahmas. Johnson fires, and Hermes swings away. First pitch, fouls it off back into the backstop for strike 1. So we sit here, bottom of the second. And 0-1 count to Hermes, the designated hitter in the 8-hole for the Brahmas. 2 outs with Thigpen, the runner on third for the Brahmas after a triple down the right field line. Cole Johnson settles in from the stretch. Hermes swinging away, fouls one off, back into the backstop again.
Yep. And here's a situation, once again, you're at the bottom of the order, you're up 0-2. Cole Johnson's got to make an intelligent pitch here. You don't want to pipe something right down the middle. The runner's at third base. So let's see how Cole handles this 0-2 count. Very critical at bat here early on in this game.
Hermes steps back in. Johnson settles in on the mound in the stretch and delivers. High and outside. Smart pitch there. Hermes takes a look at it. 1-2. The count now. Just want to make sure at the same time, nothing great pipe down the middle, but also nothing that the catcher can handle to get behind him to allow that run to score from third. Johnson settles in as Hermes waits in the box. Low and in the dirt. Nice block by Sawyer Scott there. Keeps it in front of him, out in front of the plate for ball 2.
All year long, Sawyer has done a great job back there behind the plate, keeping balls in front of him, and such luxury for a pitcher to have when they're throwing breaking balls, to have a catcher that can block those and keep it in front of him. But great job there by Sawyer Scott, keeping a run from scoring on that pitch.
2-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Hermes steps back in. Johnson comes set in the stretch and delivers. Hermes drives it back up the middle, right past the Johnson. Harmon slides over to grab it deep in the into the outfield. And no way to get Hermes at first base. Be a base hit up the middle for Hermes to score the first run of the ball game for the Brahmas. A 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, give it to the Hallettsville team. I mean, they are up there and swinging, and so good job. Just hit that one right back up the middle. Scored the run.
And now to bring up the number 9-hole hitter, Rylan Schindler. Steps in, the first baseman wearing number 10. Schindler yesterday, boy, he did not cheat himself on any hacks, constantly making contact, hustling down the line. Went 1 for 6 for the day. Steps in here in the bottom of the second for the Brahmas with a runner on first, 2 outs. Johnson comes set, takes a look at first base, fires the home. High for ball 1.
And this is a situation right here where you want to see Cole minimize the damage. You've got a runner at first base now, but you want to go ahead and shut the door here and let the Gators come back to hit.
That hit from Hermes. Cole Johnson finishes the pitches, balls off to the left side of the mound. That ball went right back over the top of the rubber into the shallow outfield. Great job of hitting by Hermes, hitting the pitch back where it was. Johnson settles in, throws over to first, gets Hermes back to the base safely. Schindler steps in. He's the left-handed batter for the Brahmas here in the 9-hole. Hermes takes a lead. And ball 2 from Cole Johnson, high and outside.
Taking a look out here out of the window, I couldn't help but notice the Gerald coaching staff loitering on the field still.
Coming around from the Hallettsville dugout area. Hopefully no pointers given, hurting their own district mates here. Johnson settles in, Schindler back in the box. Hermes hits his lead off at first base. Johnson fires home. Down the pipe for a strike. 2-1 the count now. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Brahmas have scored 1 across in this inning to make it a 1-0 lead. Schindler stepping back in from the left side. Hermes gets a lead off of the first base there, being held by Gabe Dixon. Johnson comes set. Low and in the dirt, blocked by Sawyer Scott. Good job by Sawyer there. Ball 3 now on Schindler.
Good job there by Cole, changing his time on the mound, held the ball, and that drives base runners crazy, so no way for them to get a bigger lead. So good job by Cole there, handling the base runner.
Changing the tempo for the runners, keeping them off balance. Hermes gets a lead, not very big. Gabe Dixon holding him on. Johnson fires to the plate, taken all the way by Schindler, and that'll bring it to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes for the lefty first baseman of Hallettsville. Ryland Schindler steps back in. Hermes gets his lead. Gabe Dixon holding him on still. And he's off with the pitch. Schindler fouls it off to the left side, out of play, and keeps the at-bat alive here.
Yeah, Shorty could have been consistent on this here the last couple of days, Wally. In those 3-2 counts, he's being aggressive, sending his runners.
Indebted again there, and I'm assuming 3-2 and 2 outs here. Hermes will be off. Doesn't get a very big lead. Johnson steps off and takes a look at him. No throw to first base, but keeps Hermes close to the bag. Hermes back and now takes his lead off. Not very big lead for Hermes compared to what some of the runners have been taking, but he'll be off with the pitch. Johnson delivers, and Schindler off his hands into left field. Aaron Werchen on the run and makes the catch. Short left field. Great job by Aaron Werchen to come in and grab that ball and get the Gators out of the inning. After 2, 1-0 Hallettsville. Push 1 across there, 1 run on a hit. No, and 1 man left on. We'll go to the top of the 3rd after this break with Hallettsville leading the Gators 1-0 on SHN Sports. Welcome back to San Marcos, Texas, home of the San Marcos Rattlers, the host of today's Game 3 between the Gateway Gators and the Hallettsville Brahmas here on SHN Sports. Thanks for joining in and listening. We go to the top of the 3rd, 1-0, Hallettsville leads. Gateway comes up to bat here, and we'll bring up to bat the pitcher, number 9, Cole Johnson. First pitch from Trilicek, called strike. 0-1 count for Cole Johnson. Settles back in. Trilicek from the windup. Low and inside. Called a ball. A 1-1 the count now on Cole Johnson.
Cole did have his a hit in that last game of the season, so not a stranger to hitting.
Pitch fired by Trilicek. Fouled off up in the right and out of play over the backstop. Johnson sends the count to a 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnson hitting in the 8-hole today for the Gators. Settles back in the box. Trilicek from the windup and delivers. Johnson swing and a miss for a strikeout for the first out of the inning for the Gators. We'll bring up to bat the 9-hole hitter, number 10, the second baseman, Simeon Harmon.
Simeon with the big day yesterday, 2 RBIs. 1 in each game yesterday on putting the ball in play with 2 sacrifice flies. So Simeon having a good playoff season so far.
Harmon steps in from the right side, takes the first pitch inside for a ball.
See if Simeon can't get on and let the top of the order get something going here for the Gators.
Trilicek winds and delivers. Harmon fouls it off up into the right over the backstop, out of play for an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here in the top of the 3rd, 1-0 ball game. Hallettsville leads 1-0. Trilicek delivers. Harmon fouls it off down the third base line, just foul of the bag. And we'll settle back in with a 1-2 count. Trilicek wasting no time. He gets settled quick, grabs his pitch, and when the batter's ready, soon after he delivers. And he starts his windup. Sends it in. Harmon pops it up to center field. Center fielder plays in. Takes a few steps in and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. F8 in the scorebook. And that'll take us back to the top of the lineup for the Gators to Chris Barlin. Barlin steps in. So far, 0 for 1 today. Had that nice line drive down the first baseline, snagged by Schindler in the first inning.
Yeah, you would think if he has that same approach, those balls will start dropping for Chris.
First pitch of ball to Barlin. Settles back in the box. Trilochek delivers. Low, ball 2.
Good idea for Chris to, if he doesn't get anything, coax a walk here. He's with his speed on the bases, gives us another dimension.
Third pitch from Trilochek, low in the dirt. For ball number 3. 3-0 count now on Barlin. Leadoff hitter for the Gators, up for his second at bat here in the top of the third inning. Trilochek delivers. Barlin hits the ball right up the middle, right off the ankle leg of Trilochek over to the third base line, and Barlin will make it to the base.
That's one of those plays again, Wally, where you kind of, when you see it at first glance, you're like, oh man, he's 3-0 and he's swinging there. In this kind of game, you want him taking there and making sure that he's got four balls, but it goes ahead and swings at the 3-0 pitch, hits it a laser off of Trilochek's ankle, bounces over to the third base side, and Chris with his speed easily jaunts over to first base. So now the Gators have a runner at first base with Gabe Dixon, a good contact hitter, up to the plate, see if he can't scoot Chris over into scoring position.
Barlin was lead off. Trilochek tries to pick him off. Barlin back in safe. Barlin gets his lead back off first base, held by Schindler there. Trilochek in the stretch and delivers a home. First pitch, low and outside, called a ball by the umpire. Gabe Dixon, 1-0. So far for the day, Dixon grounded to the third baseman, Lacroix, in the first inning for a 5-3 putout. Barlin back to the base quickly as Trilochek throws back over. Trilochek has an open stance before he comes set in the stretch and looks over at first base before coming set. Barlin back with his lead. Trilochek set and pitches. Dixon fouls it off. Back up behind and out of play behind the backstop to even the count at a 1-1.
Yeah, this is one of those situations, I think, Wally, where you want to give Chris a chance for a straight steal here and not let Gabe take a swing until he's in scoring position. We'll see how Coach plays it, but, boy, you'd love to see Chris get a good lead and steal that bag. He's got amazing speed over there at first base.
Barlin with the lead. Trilochek set in the stretch. Steps off the mound. And Barlin back to the base. Gabe Dixon steps out at home. Umpire backing away. Let them all get reset. Steps back in. Dixon back in the batter's box. Barlin gets his lead off at first base. Trilochek looking.
Again, small details in baseball. Trilochek checking over the runner. Chris has a very conservative lead at first base. So you want to see him extend that lead a little bit, give him a chance to steal that bag. But once again, it's the execution by the Hallettsville pitchers. When they throw over, they kind of make you stay closer. So we'll see what happens here with Chris, see how he plays this situation.
Second pitch to Gabe Dixon, high and inside there. Takes it for ball number 2. 2-1 count. Barlin with the lead off first. Trilochek delivers. Dixon fouls it off. Back up over the backstop again. Out of play. And it'll even the count back to 2-2.
Once again, Chris there taking off on the pitch, but just a very conservative lead.
Dixon settles back in. Barlin gets his lead off at first base. Schindler holds him on there. Trilochek set in the stretch and delivers high and outside. Barlin stills. No throw. Grant nicely. The ball pops out of the glove on that high outside pitch.
Yeah. Once again, Wally, in that situation, Chris with a very conservative lead did not have a good jump. Nicely had him by a good margin if he's able to get it out of his glove. But the ball, maybe it's slippery here in these damp and colder conditions that we're in here. But anyway, not able to get it out of his glove. Now we have a runner in scoring position. One of those Gabe Dixon opposite field hits right here would be very helpful.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dixon gets a pitch. Hits a little blooper towards first base. Schindler backpedals to the outskirts of the infield and makes the catch for the third out. So after the top of the third, no runs, 1 hit for the Gators. One man left on base. So we go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Hallettsville leads. And we'll be back with more baseball here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gator Baseball Playoff Series here with the Hallettsville Brahmas. We go to the bottom of the third, and it brings back the top of the lineup for the Brahmas. The leadoff hitter, Jace Bluda, steps in for the second time today. Bluda walked the first at bat, and then was caught stealing by Sawyer Scott. Cole Johnson settles in for the first pitch. In the dirt, past the catcher there for ball one.
Like to see another inning just like the one he just had. Cole very efficient in that last outing.
Bluda resets back in the box. Johnson set from the stretch and delivers the pitch. Called strike on the inside half of the plate by the umpire. Bluda taking there, evens the count, 1-1. Bluda back in the box quickly. Johnson set. Pitch delivered. Bluda out to second base. Simeon builds it on a hop and makes the throw to Gabe Dixon for the 4-3 putout. First out of the inning here in the top of the third for the Brahmas.
Nice job there by Simeon, hopping it on one hop. Seems like it had a little skip there to it, but still makes a good play and makes the first out of the inning. Again, good efficiency by Cole Johnson here to start this one.
Very good job there by Cole. That'll bring up the the right fielder, Trace Jordan. Jordan struck out looking in the bottom of the first, in his first at bat. Takes the first pitch here high from Johnson for a ball. That strikeout from Jordan helped lead to the strike him out, throw him out by the Gators. Next pitch from Johnson. Jordan takes the hack, fouls it off back to the right over the backstop, out of play for a strike, even in the count, 1-1. Bottom of the third, 1-0, Hallettsville leads. Pushed across a run in the bottom of the second. Batting here in the bottom of the third, 1 out. Jordan takes the next pitch inside from Johnson. 2 balls, 1 strike to count now.
You know, on that 1-1 pitch there, I think that's a good idea by Cole to go ahead and go inside and kind of get in their kitchen a little bit. These Brahma hitters are real aggressive. You got to move their feet, make them uncomfortable.
Jordan sets back in the box, pitches on the way, and he shoots it out to second base on a hop. Simeon Harmon fields it, makes the throw to first, off the glove of Dixon. Not a good throw there from the Harmon. Dixon looked like he could have had as he brought him off the bag. Ball gets out of his glove, squirts down. Sawyer Scott keeps it in the field to keep Jordan to first base only, but first error there, the ball game for the Gators.
Yeah, that's one of those where I think Simeon does well to take his time, be a little bit more patient. Had plenty of time to make a good throw. Maybe got a little bit antsy there and got rid of it too quick. Overthrows first base, and so now there is a runner on base, unearned.
And one thing we saw yesterday from the Brahmas, they are quick out of the box and will make you force the issue. A lot of balls they hit were slower, got to the fielders, and they had to make quick throws, which Dixon did a good job of scooping and grabbing and fielding over at first base. That's just a tough throw that pulled him off the bag, unable to hold on to. So we have a runner on first, 1 out. Rhett Trillicek, the pitcher, steps in for the Brahmas. Cole Johnson steps off, makes the throw to first. Jordan dives back in safely. He'll reset. Trillicek steps out, looks down at the coach, Shorty Cook at third base. And back in the box from the right side here, right-handed hitter Rhett Trillicek for the Brahmas. Settles in, Johnson set. Pitch from Johnson is a ball. Sawyer Scott fires down to first base to Dixon. Throwing behind Jordan. Jordan safely back to the bag. Jordan gets a lead. Nice lead at first base. Trillicek back in the box. Johnson comes set. He'll deliver. And Trillicek pops it up on the right side of the infield. Harmon makes a long run into foul territory. Unable to get to it as it bounces over the fence for a long strike.
Yeah, that one landed in no man's land. Gabe Dixon was turned around there, but Simeon with a good hustle over there against the fence, just out of his reach.
A long run from the middle infield there all the way over to the right side. We see it bounce and then hop over the fence out of play. Tough place to try to track down a ball.
Again, once again here's where there's been a little bit of a difference in favor of the Brahmas in these situations. You got an 0-2 count, and see what Cole Johnson does here. Is this pitch going to be something over the plate, or is he going to go ahead and challenge the hitter to chase something? Small details in this game make a big difference, especially when you're playing a team that doesn't make a lot of errors. but Cole has to make an intelligent pitch here in this 0-2 count.
Trilochek steps back in the box. Johnson steps off, looks Jordan back to the bag. Jordan has a good lead. Hasn't taken off yet. Kind of the lead that you see Blue Owl get before he takes off. And Jordan just not taking. He's taking the lead, but not taking off running. It's going to be a 1-2 count. Umpire holds his hands up, signals the 1-2 count. Jordan takes his lead. Johnson throws over, just a soft throw over to first base, keeping Jordan honest. And Jordan back in safely. We'll reset here. Trilochek steps back in the box. Cole addresses the rubber from the stretch there. Jordan takes his lead off first, held on by Gabe Dixon. And Johnson comes set. Johnson pitches, fires it in, low, blocked by Sawyer Scott. Good job there. 4-2. It'll bring the count to 2-2. Runner on first, one out. Here in the bottom of the third for the Brahmas.
Be a great time right here for Cole to coax a little ground ball, see if we can't run the pitcher's best friend double play right here, get us out of this inning.
Jordan with the lead off first base. Pitches in, outside and low. 4-3, so it brings it to a full count with one out here in the bottom of the third for the Brahmas. Now what happens next? What are the Brahmas? What do we see from them? Jordan gets a good lead. Does he take off? They put the hit and run into play. Expecting a good pitch from Johnson. Jordan takes off. Trilochek hits it to the shortstop. Chalman has no play at second. Fires over to first. Scoop by Gabe Dixon. What a nice job by Dixon there. Bailing out Chalman on the low throw. Makes a scoop for the second out. And Jordan moves up to second base.
Good job there by Nick, recognizing he did not have a play. And once again, those small things that these Brahmas do, really important. It just shows you they're an excellent baseball team. Going on the pitch eliminates the opportunity for the double play, but Nick Chalman, recognizing that, anticipates, makes the play at first base, and throws not the best throw to first base, but Gabe Dixon doing what he does at first base this year, scooping it, making a great play to save him there. Nonetheless, now there's 2 outs, and with the runner in scoring position.
And brings up the cleanup hitter, number 23, the shortstop. Number 23, Ryan Turgach. The lefty steps into the box. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third for the Brahmas. And now Turgach will take time, step out of the box, adjust his gloves, and approach back in the box. Umpire steps in. Cole Johnson addresses the mound and looks in. Jordan with a lead up at second base. Chalman back between Jordan and the base. And no pickoff. Cole Johnson steps off and looks at him. Jordan returns to the base. And we'll reset here.
Yeah, interesting alignment here. Nick playing right behind the second base back, so a big hole to the left-handed hitter on the opposite side.
Nice pitch by Cole Johnson, the outside corner, called a strike. And you say that, Efren. You see Harmon shaded over between second and first base, deep in the hole. Chalman playing back behind the base. EJ now off the line, more towards shortstop. Like they're playing a little shift on Turgach here as he faces a 0-1 count. Turgach back in, no balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way from Johnson, a little high. Evens the count, 1-1. Jordan with the lead off at second base.
Situation here where Nick playing behind the back can sneak in behind that base runner. Cole can turn around, but that's a tough move for a right-hander to spin around and throw to second base on that secondary. You might even want Sawyer to pop up and throw behind him here. Not sure if that play is on, but boy, it's there for him if they can do it.
Pitch on the way, a little high and outside. And ball 2 on Turgach. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Turgach in his first at-bat blew out to center fielder to end the first inning. Steps back in here now with a runner on second. Jordan gets his lead. Chalman back and forth between the bag. And he'll back up into short center field. And Johnson fires, but outside. And it brings a 3-1 count now to Turgach, the cleanup hitter for the Brahmas. Sawyer Scott steps out. Motions to Johnson. Hey, let's settle in. Calm down, bring it in. 3-1. The count on Turgach. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 lead for the Hallettsville Brahmas. Jordan with the lead off at second base. Chalman sneaking in. Johnson gives a couple of looks, and he'll deliver to the home plate. And it's high outside. Turgach draws a walk. And it'll be first and second base now with 2 outs. Bringing up the catcher, Grant Nicely for the Brahmas.
Last time up, Nicely hit a loud pop out to left field. Dangerous hitter. And let's see if we can't have him hit something on the ground here. But you want to try not to get something elevated to this because big, strong kid and has shown it the last couple of days. He can barrel the ball. So Cole, needless to say, in a testy situation here.
Nicely steps in. He went 2 for 6 yesterday, hitting each of the games, but that one beautiful double down the line. Hard shot that nicely hit in game number 2. Just to show the power that he has, the quick hands. He'll step back in here after a fly ball to left field. Aaron Werchen ran down in his last at bat.
Bad news here is you got 2 runners on. The good news is that you got 2 outs, so the closest bag will get you out of the inning.
Johnson fires it nicely. First pitch is a strike, called strike. Sawyer Scott throws down to second base behind Jordan. Chalman sneaking in, but Jordan got back safely. So nicely starts off 0-1. Nice pitch by Johnson there. Now we have Jordan at first, Jordan at second, Targach at first. Both get a lead off here. No one being held on at first base. Nicely settles in. Johnson comes set, looks back at second base, and he'll deliver. Low and in the dirt, blocked by Sawyer Scott. Ball 1 there. Good job by Scott, continuing to block the ball, keep the runners at bay there at first and second for the Brahmas. Nicely steps out, takes a look, settles in. Back in the box, batting from the right side. Jordan with the lead off at second base. Targach with the lead off at first. Cole Johnson comes set. Looks back to second base a couple of times and will deliver high and outside to nicely for ball 2. 2-1 count now for the catcher for the Brahmas. Gabe Dixon playing deep in the hole, deep behind first base. Harmon at second base kind of holding on Jordan. He'll back off back to the hole. Fires in and a swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Cole Johnson there for evening out the count. 2-2 now on nicely.
Yeah, it looked like a nice breaking pitch there from Cole on the inside part of the plate. That's what you want to do with a hitter like this with all that power. You want to shackle him up inside. Got in his kitchen. Got the swing and a miss here. Now a critical 2-2 pitch upcoming. Nicely
back in the box. Jordan off his second. Targach off first. Johnson sets, looks at second base, and delivers to the home plate. And it's a pop-up. Ball hit up and out of play over the backstop. And off the roof of the booth here for a foul ball. And nicely stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Brahmas trying to work some magic here. They got runners on first and second with the 2 outs. Trace Jordan on second. Ryan Targach on first base. Both lead off. Nicely settles back in. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Cole Johnson takes a look at second base at Jordan. Harmon sneak it in and backs off. And the pitch. Low for the liking. And 3-2. Makes it a full count. 2 outs. You can imagine the runners will be up on the pitch here. Full count. 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Nicely at the plate. Catcher with some power for the Brahmas. Jordan leads off second. Targach off first. Cole Johnson steps and looks towards second base. No throw. Gets Jordan back to the base, keeping him honest. Nicely steps out. Now back in the box. Preps and ready. Jordan leads off second base. Targach off first. Cole Johnson looks back at the bag and will deliver to home plate. Ground ball to the mound. Cole Johnson does a fine job of fielding his position, falling off the left side of the mound. Gloves the ball, pitches it over to Gabe Dixon for the third out of the inning, and gets the Gators out of trouble. So after 3, still a 1-0 score. 0-3-1 on the scoreboard for the Gators. 1-3-0 for the Brahmas. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Brahmas. And we'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back here from San Marcos High School Stadium in San Marcos, Texas on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports presentation of Gateway Gator Baseball. We'll go to the top of the fourth. Gateway Gators 0, Hallettsville Brahmas 1 after 3. Top of the fourth inning will bring up for the Gators Noah Krieger, the right fielder, number 14. First pitch, and he takes a hack at it into left field. Great play by Klimacek, I believe it is. Who's my left fielder there? Yeah, it is. Klimacek, diving catch for the out.
That was an amazing play by the left fielder. That was a line shot, and that had single or even a double written all over. It comes in, makes a diving play, all-out dive. And once again, these Brahmas showing off the leather defensively. Very solid, very fundamentally sound team. Good job by Noah. Couldn't hit it any harder, but even a better play by the left fielder.
Brings up number 12, E.J. Sanchez. First pitch from Chilicek. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 count now on Sanchez. Sanchez in his first at bat. Grounded back to the pitcher on that high bounder that Chilicek fielded and made the play at first base to Schindler. Second pitch will be a ball to E.J. Even out the count, 1-1. Sanchez steps back in. Chilicek ready to go and delivers. Sanchez drives it right back up the middle. Bounding ball. Targac makes it on the run. Throws over to first to get E.J. 6-3 on the putout. Nice play by Targac there. And the charging and makes a good throw to first base. Schindler with the catch. And 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Gators here in the top of the fourth. Brings up the shortstop, number 3, Nick Chalman.
Yeah, worth repeating here. These Brahma pitchers just work fast. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on the hitters. These hitters not stepping out like they were yesterday and just allowing the Brahma pitchers to pitch them fast and stay in their groove, more importantly, so far working for them.
First pitch to Chalman. Low and outside, past the glove him nicely to the backstop. Forward ball 1. Chalman in the first inning had a double. Right center field. Hustled out of the box, made it in, sliding into second for the double. Takes a second pitch inside. Checks his swing. Will appeal down to first. No go. The call from the first base umpire. Good call there. Makes the count 2-0 for Chalman. Chalman settles back in. Chilicek, no joke effort. Ready to go. Fires away. And down the heart of the plate for a strike. 2-1 count now to Chalman. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Hallettsville, the home team, leading 1-0. Only run of the game came in the second inning. Chilicek delivers. Inside for ball 3. 3-1 count now on Chalman. Here in the top of the fourth. 2 outs, no runners on. Chalman settles back in, expecting a good pitch here. Chilicek delivers. And Chalman bounds it down the third base line. Chop it. Lacroix on the run. Throws the first. Not going to get Chalman. Past the first baseman into right field. Done a nice job of Trace Jordan coming in to field it. It's got to be a base hit there for Chalman.
Yep.
Don't think a good throw even beats him, but a great play by Lacroix there. Coming in, builds it, throws on the run. But just a great hustle by Nick Chalman.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where it's a do-or-die play for the third baseman. He's coming in all out. Does a good job of getting to the ball, but the throw is not good in the dirt, and the first baseman not able to pick him up and get the out. And so now the Gators have another base runner here. Let's see if Jack Boy Wonder Bumpus can scoot Nick over and start a threat here that have not been able to mount so far against the Hallettsville team.
The designated hitter, number 21, Jack Bumpus, steps back in. Grounded to third the last time. Lockwell made the play in the first. Bumpus back up the middle, over the pitcher's head. Fielded by Targac as he makes the run towards the base. Builds it and steps on second base to force Chalman out for the third out of the top of the fourth inning for the Gators. Oh, the Gators leave no one on base here. They got 1 hit out of Chalman. And no runs. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 still for Hallettsville leading. And we'll be back here on SHN Sports. And we're back here at SHN Sports Coverage of Gateway Gator Baseball. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bring up the Brahmas. Third baseman, Hunter Lacqua, steps in, takes strike one from Cole Johnson. Kick off the bottom of the 4th. Johnson settles back in. Strike two from Johnson. Settling in nicely here in the bottom of the 4th, going right after Lacqua. Lacqua back in the box. Johnson gets the pitch. Inside for a ball.
There. That's exactly what you want to see from Cole in this situation. You're up in the count 0-2, and then you bust them up inside. Nothing easy, especially when you're ahead in the count. You want to challenge the hitters and not give them anything easy in that 0-2 count. Good pitch by Cole.
Next pitch in. Lacqua pops it up the right side of the infield. Gabe Dixon right at home there. Near the base, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Lacqua pops up, P3 on the put out there.
Good job by Cole getting ahead there and getting the first out quickly here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Always so hard. Those innings are so much harder when you leave that first batter on base. Makes it so much more stressful. So good job by Cole by pitching ahead there and making some quality pitches.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Case Thigpen, for the Brahmas with one out here in the bottom of the 4th. Steps in from the right side. Johnson set and pitches. High and ball one on Thigpen. Thigpen in his first at bat had the triple down the right field line. Krieger left his feet, making a diving attempt. Got past him all the way to the fence. And Thigpen with a stand-up triple. Second pitch from Gonson out on the outside corner for a strike. Evens up the count 1-1. Quickly back in the box is Thigpen. Sets and ready for Johnson's pitch. He gets it in, sets in the stretch, and delivers. Breaking ball, inside corner. Nice pitch by Johnson. Not afraid to go to that inside corner there and get strike two.
Yeah, once again, Cole just doing a good job of pitching and not just throwing, understanding the situation, busting them up inside, not afraid to throw inside. A lot of pitchers are. Cole doing a good job of pitching inside today.
1-2 count. Thigpen takes a hack, drives it out to left field. Aaron Merchant ranges over to his left about 8 steps. Makes the catch for the second out here in the bottom of the 4th for the Brahmas. Good job by Merchant there. Sees it off the bat, makes it an easy second out catch. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Hermes, for the Brahmas. Hermes in his first at bat had a single up the middle, right over the pitching rubber. Once Johnson released and fell to the left, Hermes went right back up the middle, poking that base hit, doing his job as the designated hitter for these Brahmas. Steps in now with 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. First pitch, down the heart of the plate, taken for a strike. 0-1 count to Hermes.
Great job by Cole pitching ahead. Once again, looks like he's dialed in now, and he's really throwing well now here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss.
Nice pitch by Johnson there. Hermes takes a cut at it. And a miss. 0-2 the count now. Cole Johnson working ahead real quick here in the bottom of the 4th, Efren.
Yeah, he is. And so, again, maybe taking a cue from the Brahma pitchers and saying, hey, I can fast pitch you too. And so, again, always gives the advantage to the pitcher when you do that.
Settles in, and Hermes will foul one off over towards the Gateway dugout. Stay alive in the count, 0-2.
Case in point there, I mean, you look at that swing by Hermes, he was way late there. But, again, you can credit that to the tempo and that fast pitching attitude that Cole is having here.
Hermes set, sorry. Johnson set, delivers the pitch. Off speed, fouled off by Hermes back into the backstop. Stays alive with an 0-2 count here in the bottom of the 4th. Ball retrieved, umpire back behind the plate. So we'll reset here. Hermes steps back in the box. 0-2 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. 1-0 lead for Hallettsville. Johnson fires, and Hermes swing and a miss, and that'll be the third out of the 4th inning for the Brahmas. After 4 innings, 0 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Gators. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors for the Brahmas. That'll take us to the top of the 5th when we return here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gator baseball here against the Hallettsville Brahmas. Game 3 of the area playoff contest here. Game 1 went to the Gators 2-1. Game 2 went to the Brahmas 3-1 yesterday. And here we are today in San Marcos, Texas, San Marcos High School. We go to the top of the 5th. Sawyer Scott, the catcher, will step in for the Gators. Gators trailing 1-0. Trilocek, the pitcher for the Brahmas, fires in. Pitch in, and Sawyer Scott rips it down the line. Fair ball just over the bag on a line drive. Scott will circle around first and cruise into second base as Klimacek had to take a long run over to the left field corner to fill that ball. Sawyer Scott saw one pitch that he liked and drove it up and all the way to the corner for a leadoff double.
One of the attributes that Sawyer Scott does possess, he is the power hit for the Gateway Gators. He and Noah Krieger do possess the power in this lineup, and so could not have come at a better time for your Gateway Gators.
So after the double by Scott, that'll bring up the pitcher, number 9, Cole Johnson. Cole steps in, and his first at bat struck out swinging in the top of the 3rd. Steps back in here. Trilocek goes to the stretch. Comes set in the stretch. We'll look back at second base. And he'll deliver home. Johnson takes a hack and fouls it off right side out of the play down the right field line. Jackson Bowman will be the courtesy runner for Sawyer Scott on second base for the Gators. 0-1 count to Cole Johnson. Steps back in. Trilocek from the stretch looks in.
Situation where Cole has to have a quality at bat here and get Sawyer over to third base. Or Jackson now running for Sawyer. I'm sorry. He represents Sawyer's double. But here's a situation where you have to have a quality at bat. Scoot Jackson over. Even better yet, Cole can come through with the single right here and tie this game up.
Trilocek delivers home. Cole Johnson takes it for a ball. Evens out the count 1-1. Trilocek with that open stance from the stretch. So he can get a better look around, looks into home plate, then closes it back as he comes set. He'll take a look back at second. Jackson Bowman with the lead. Off at second base. He'll deliver home. Cole Johnson swing and miss. 4 strike 2.
Once again, this is one of those situations where as a hitter, Cole should understand here that he's not trying to hit a home run. He has power, but all he's trying to do is hit a hard ground ball to the right side and get the speedy Jackson to third base where he can score on almost any play.
Jackson gets his lead off second. Trilocek delivers. Cole Johnson swinging a miss. Ball's in the dirt. Johnson will take off to first base. Nicely blocks it. Takes a throw down to first to Schindler and makes the out. Johnson put out on a swinging strikeout. Dropped third strike. Put out at first base. Costly there for the Gators there. Kind of thought you might see a bunt. Try to work the runner over to third base where a sac fly scores a run. But nonetheless, we sit here with Jackson Bowman at second, 1 out, and it'll bring up the second baseman, number 10, Simeon Harmon.
And unfortunately, again, one of the underlying themes, missed opportunities in these at-bats for the Gators. That situation, a bunt would have helped you as Simeon Harmon sees strike 1.
First pitch a strike, no balls, 1 strike to Harmon, 1 out. Jackson Bowman on second base. Harmon steps out, looks down at Coach Gomer in the third base box as he calls out directions for Bowman and Harmon. Harmon settles back in the box from the right side. Trilocek comes set, looks back at second base. Targach in and out behind Bowman. Now he'll deliver a pitch, and Harmon will bunt. The bunt is called foul by the home plate umpire.
And so here you go again, one of the underlying themes of this Gateway Gator team in these clutch situations, failing to put down a bunt. Not putting a ball in play, not hitting a ground ball. These are the small things you have to do. You have to execute against good teams. And right now the Gators showing an inability to do that. Let's see if Simeon can come back and force the action here.
0-2 count on Harmon. Trilocek delivers as Bowman leads off second. Curveball. Harmon drives it down the third base line under the glove of Lacroix into left field. Jackson Bowman will circle second base. He comes to third, and now he's headed to home. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. Jackson Bowman scores and evens up the ball game. 1-1 for the Gators. Good job there by Harmon to get the ball down the line hard under the glove of Lacroix into left field. Gets a double and puts the Gators back in the ballgame.
Well, and all the credit goes here to Cole Johnson keeping this game close, 1-run game, and Simeon going down 0-2, able to muscle a ball down the left field line, pulls it hard. Looked like the third baseman had a beat on it. It would have been a tough play in any event. I think if he would have fielded that, he didn't have a play either way, but still tries to make the play, gets behind him, and the speedy Jackson Bowman scores easily on that play. And so now your Gators threatening here finally in the bottom of the fifth inning. Good job by Simeon Harmon getting it done there and coming through with a quality at bat when the Gators needed it most.
Good to see Monster kind of make up for the error at second base there in the last inning. Didn't come back to cost the Gators, but he did a good job there. Like you said, 0-2 count. Gets a curveball, stays back, drives it just enough, muscles it down the third base line, gets under Lockwall, who's been a steady force there at third base for the Brahmas, but in no less. Harmon gets the second on the base hit. Jackson Bowman scores from second base to even up the ball game. So we're sitting here, top of the fifth, 1-1 score now for the Gators and the Brahmas. Harmon at second base, and it brings up your leadoff hitter, Chris Barlin. Barlin steps in, first pitch, sees it, takes a swing and a miss.
Funny how those kind of plays energize the dugout. You see Chris there, looks like he was swinging, and he was hit that thing halfway to Austin the way he was swinging, but the energy now and momentum swinging to the Gator side.
Barlin steps back in, Harmon with the leadoff second. Pitch comes in, and Barlin's going to butt down the first base line. Trilicek over, builds it, and makes a toss to the first baseman, Schindler, just in time to get Barlin. Great play by Trilicek coming off the mound. Barlin, like you said before, Efren, that speed, dangerous, and just gets Barlin at first base.
I tell you what, that play really, no winner or loser in that play. Trilicek, athletic off the mound to get the speedy Chris Barlin, but Chris does his job, gets Simeon over to third base, and now a base hit gives your Gateway Gators the lead.
Step in, Gabe Dixon, wild pitch, gets past nicely. Here comes Harmon from third base, and he'll slide in, save, no throw. That'll take the lead to the Gators now. Like you said, Efren, the momentum changing. Harmon comes in on the wild pitch, off the glove nicely, all the way to the backstop, responds. The Gators get the run. Now the sac bunt by Barlin comes in huge. You move that runner over 90 feet away. One mistake cost you.
It's the small things in these championship games against a high-quality opponent. You got to do the small things right there. The Gators finally get it done.
1 ball, no strikes to Dixon. He steps in, bounds one down the third base line. Here comes Lockwall, builds it on the run, but can't get a glove on it. He bobbles it. Dixon safe at first. I would assume an error gets charged there on Lockwall. Has to make a tough play. Runs in, puts a glove on it, but it just bounces out of the glove. Dixon moving down the line, safe at first base. And the Gators keep going.
Yeah, that's one of those, I think, where the official scorer has to score it an error, but it would have been a tough play. But once again, putting the ball in play, you can feel the energy emanating out of that Gator dugout. They feel the momentum. They know they have the upper hand. Free swinging at the plate, a lot more relaxed. And just like that, the Gators have another base runner on for Noah Krieger.
Krieger steps in, and Trilicek now fires over to first base. Gabe Dixon back in safely, dives in head first. Trilicek holding on. Schindler holding on. Gabe Dixon at first base. Fires into Krieger for a swinging strike. 0-1 count to Noah Krieger. 2 outs. Top of the fifth here for the Gators then. They've made their run, Efren. 2 runs here in the top of the fifth on a hit and an error. Here comes Krieger. Second pitch. Takes it low. Good block by Nicely there to keep in front of him. Even out the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here. Top of the fifth. Gabe Dixon gets his lead off first. Schindler holds him on. Trilicek takes a look. Comes set in the stretch. Krieger ready at the plate. Fires it in. Krieger fouls it off back into the backstop. Strike 2.
Good, strong approach there by Krieger. Being aggressive. The Gateway Gators smelling blood in the water, and the energy level is up. The approach is improved. A lot more aggressive there at the plate. You can feel the energy. Let's see if Noah Krieger can get one of his authentic doubles in the gap here.
Krieger back in. Trilicek comes set. Pitch on the way. Oh, inside corner. Strike 3 called. And that'll end the top of the fifth for the Gators, but not after a couple of runs, and now the Gators take the lead. Two runs for the Gators. One run for the Brahmas as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Gateway changing the momentum here in the fifth inning. We'll take a break here on SHN Sports and be back in just a minute. Welcome back to SHN Sports presentation of Gateway Gator Baseball. Go to the bottom of the 5th, Epron 2-1. Gators get 2 runs in the top of the 5th. We'll go ahead and correct it here. Gabe Dixon got on base, awarded by the official scorebook as a hit to third base. Lockwell had a hard time getting to it, building it, and like you said, I don't think he would have got Gabe Dixon. He was bounding out of the box quick down the baseline. So a base hit there for Dixon. Nonetheless, we're back to the bottom of the 5th now. 2-1 Gators lead as the Brahmas come up here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and a good opportunity here for Cole to just continue to pump strikes like he did the last couple of innings. Really settling in nicely here.
First pitch hits the outside corner, taken by the batter for a strike. 0-1 count starting off the inning here for the Brahmas. Up to bat is, wrong side of the book there, is the first baseman, Rylan Schindler. Pitch number 2 is a ball. It'll be a 1-1 count to Schindler now, the first baseman. He was a fly out to left field. Aaron Werchen in his first at bat. Next pitch, swing and a miss by Schindler, and takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Schindler, the 9-hole hitter for the Brahmas.
Exactly what you're looking for here from Cole. Pitching with the lead, he's got to pump strikes.
And Cole does just that. Works ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Comes set in the stretch and delivers. Schindler smashes one, but foul into the backstop. Schindler is not afraid to take cuts. He did a great job of slapping the ball all around the park yesterday. Just unfortunate not getting a lot of hits to fall, but making good contact, and he flies out of that box down the baseline. Stays alive in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnson pumps one outside. Breaking ball, no breaky. So we got 2-2 count now to Schindler. Nice job there by Cole. Had a pitch to play with. Evens the count back out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Gateway leads 2-1 over the Brahmas. Johnson pitches, and Schindler pokes one out to left field. Aaron Werchen on the run to his right and reaches up and makes the catch as he runs towards the line for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning.
And as Cole releases that pitch, I look over until the visitor bullpen over there. It looks like Carter Parson warming up for your Gateway Gators.
Carter Parsons, another senior here on the Gateway Gator baseball team. Down in the bullpen. It looks like a second arm throw in there. We can't see back behind that dugout. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up the top of the lineup here. It's going to be Jake Bluta. First pitch from Johnson. A breaking ball in the inside corner. Called a strike. And he works ahead. No balls, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th for the Brahmas.
The count now. That pitch just a little low and outside, it looks like.
Bluta steps back in. 1-1 count. Cole Johnson sets and fires. And Bluta takes a cut, hits it into left field. Aaron Werchen now to his left side. 4 steps and makes the catch. Another solid performance by Aaron Werchen today, running balls down in left field. I believe it's his 4th catch of the game already. Doing a good job of locking down the defense there for the Gators. Second out of the bottom of the 5th here for the Brahmas.
And more importantly, Cole Johnson continues to just pound the strike zone, giving these guys something to hit. They're aggressive, but they're hitting Cole's pitches. And some of those breaking balls that Cole is throwing here, allowing those Brahma hitters to pop them up. So good job of Cole being aggressive. Here, he cannot let up. He needs to finish this next batter and get the Gators back onto the bats.
Brings up the 2-hole hitter, number 4, Trace Jordan, the right fielder. Last time grounded to Simeon Harmon at second base, who made the throwing error, allowed Jordan on base. Cole Johnson's first pitch over the head of Trace Jordan. He ducks down below it. Sawyer catches it for ball 1 and returns it to Johnson. Johnson pretty lucky there. Jordan didn't just wear that one down to first base. Second pitch from Johnson in the dirt, scooped by Sawyer. Takes the count to 2 balls, no strikes on Trace Jordan. 2 outs here, bottom of the 5th, 2-1 lead for the Gators. Cole Johnson comes set, Jordan back in the box, and the pitch low in the dirt, scooped by Sawyer Scott, and it takes the count to 3-0.
You got to wonder here, Wally, how close Cole is to emptying the tank. I know we've got somebody warming up in the form of Carter Parsons. Looks like a couple of arms getting warmed up down there in the bullpen, but you got to feel like Cole's got to be getting towards the end here. You want to see him finish this at-bat.
Sawyer Scott takes a timeout, goes to the mound, talks to his pitcher, and they get it all worked out there. Sawyer Scott just slowing Cole down. Cole's done a good job this inning. Worked ahead, got 2 pop-ups to left field for fly ball outs, and now here we go. Settle back in. 3-0 count to Trace Jordan. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Brahmas, trailing 2-1 to the Gators. And the pitch is low. No, sorry. Delayed strike call. It'll be a 3-1 count. Nice pitch by Cole Johnson now. Stays alive here. Jordan back in the box, and Cole delivers. Inside, ball 4, and he'll walk Trace Jordan for a base runner, first of the inning for the Brahmas.
Still looking down here at Coach Gomer, seeing if he's going to go ahead and go to his bullpen. Again, that's 4 out of the last 5 pitches for balls there for Cole. Does not look like it, not coming out of the dugout, so it looks like Cole will have an opportunity to finish what he started here. All it takes is a quality pitch with number 8, Rhett Trilicek, his opposite number, to finish out what has been an outstanding outing thus far by the senior Cole Johnson.
Trilicek comes into this at bat 1 for 2 on the day. His first at bat was a base hit up the middle for a single, and then he grounded out to Nick Shawman in his last plate appearance. 1 for 2 for Trilicek as he steps in, the pitcher for the Brahmas today. Jordan gets a lead off of first base, held on by Gabe Dixon there. Johnson fires in the first pitch, called a strike, and works ahead. 0 balls, 1 strike here to Trilicek as we're in the bottom of the 5th, 2 outs for the Brahmas. Gators lead 2-1. Brahmas scored 1 in the 2nd. Gators just put on 2 in the top of the 5th to bring us where we are here. Johnson set, Trilicek back in the box. Jordan leads off first. The pitch, Trilicek drives it right up the middle. Base hit into center field. Barlin fields it on a bounce. Throws it into Chalman at the cutoff, and we've got runners on first and second base with 2 outs for the Brahmas here in the bottom of the 5th.
And as suspected, here comes Coach Gomer. That might be it for Cole Johnson, but, well, what can you say? In a do-or-die situation, the senior comes in, does his job, although the 2 runners on base are his responsibility, has done a great job this far by only allowing 1 run to a powerful Brahma lineup. But it looks like Coach Gomer is coming up to talk to Cole. We'll see if he actually makes the change. It doesn't look like it this far, but we'll see if we can see one of the pitchers come out of the dugout. But maybe it's just a conference. Maybe he's asking Cole, hey, you got enough left in the tank to finish this out?
First visit of the day from Coach Gomer out to the mound. Cole Johnson, the senior, staying out there. Everyone conversating on the infield, and it looks like Cole Johnson's going to remain in the game for the Gators. Coach Gomer makes his way back to the dugout as the Brahmas break their huddle on the third side with the head coach, Shorty Cook.
Well, and I got to tell you, I really appreciate this call by Coach Gomer. I mean, here it is, 4 years of this kid's life on that mound, and he's saying, hey, you know what, kid, go finish what you started. You're a senior. Finish it off on a high note. He's going to go ahead and let him step into the danger here against Targach and see if Cole can finish out this very, very important at-bat with runners up first and second.
Targach, the number 4 hole hitter for the Brahmas, steps in from the left side. Cole Johnson delivers the first pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 count to the cleanup hitter. Targach on the day so far has a base on balls and a fly ball to center field, so he's sitting at 0-1 on the day. Got Trilicek on first, Jordan on second for the Brahmas. Both have a lead. Trilicek, ground ball hit to second base. Harmon in deep into the hole, gets up, makes the throw to first, high and over the head. Sawyer Scott makes a great job of backing up down the line, keeps the runners at the base. Tough play for Harmon, deep in the hole to his left, down from his knees, hops up. Speedy Targach getting down the line, but can't make the throw. Targach on base, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs for the Brahmas here in the bottom of the 5th.
Not a routine play by any stretch, but a play that should have been made there. Does a great job to stay in front of it, Simeon does, but then comes up with an errant throw again. I mean, you got to feel for him. He knows that they're getting down the line fast, but still maybe just had to settle himself down just a little bit to make a better throw. And now here are the Brahmas threatening with the bases loaded, but good job of Sawyer Scott backing that up, not allowing that run to score from second.
Catcher Grant nicely steps into the box. The 5-hole hitter for the Brahmas. First pitch from Johnson is low and a ball. 1-0 count here on Nicely. Nicely so far today 0 for 2. He's got a fly ball to left field and grounded out to the pitcher in his last at bat. Johnson sets in here. No balls. 1 strike called. Strike called there by the umpire. On Nicely. Nicely steps back in. 1-1 count on Nicely. Nicely back in the box. Johnson delivers. Strike 2. Nice breaking pitch on the inside corner there by Johnson. Nicely taking, and it's a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes
And you got to love the gusto here by Cole. He's got the bases loaded. He's in a tough situation, and he's saying, you know what, I'm going to come after you. If you beat me, you beat me. But Cole Johnson buckling down here with the 1-2 count, bases loaded.
Johnson fires in and nicely swing and a miss, and the Gators get out of the inning. What a job by the senior, number 9, Cole Johnson. Works through the battle there. What a job, man. You would have told me you're going to face 2, 3, 4, 5 in that lineup in that situation and get out of it unscathed. I would have had a hard time believing you. The Brahmas are dangerous, and Cole Johnson just buckled down, strikes out nicely. What a way to end the 5th inning.
Good for Coach Gomert. Could not have written that story any better. Way to go, Cole Johnson. Tip your cap to the senior.
Finding out from the official score, Targach's shot to the second base hole was scored, a base hit. No error given on the play to Harmon. So in the 5th inning, you got 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error on the Gators. 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors for the Brahmas. At the end of 5, 2-1 Gators. We'll take this quick break. Be back with the top of the 6th inning here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gator Playoff Series here with the Hallettsville Brahmas. Top of the 6th inning, 2-1 lead for the Gators. 1 run in the 2nd inning for the Brahmas, 2 runs in the 5th inning for the Gators. And we see Trilicek take the mound again for the Brahmas, bringing up the cleanup hitter for the Gators, number 12, E.J. Sanchez. First pitch smashed up the middle off the bare hand of Trilicek. The second baseman, Thigpen, races over, grabs it barehanded, and throws out EJ. What a play, but what a smash by Sanchez.
Yeah, that's one of those where you did not get rewarded for your efforts. Could not have hit that one any harder, but give it to Trilicek, able to at least throw his glove up and knock it down, and then just right to the second baseman, able to make that play and records the out. But nonetheless, that's how baseball goes.
So if you're keeping a book, 1-4-3 on the putout of Sanchez. What a smash up the middle. Unfortunate for him, it went right to the second baseman who fields it, makes the play. Nick Chalmers steps in. First pitch from Trilicek, and he fouls it off into the backstop for a strike. 0-1 count here on Chalmers. 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Gators up 2-1 on the Brahmas in the ever-deciding match to go play Yoakum in the next round of the playoffs. What a battle here, though, Efren. Not uncharacteristic of what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, dangerous to look ahead, though. These Brahmas are not going to go down easy. 6 very tough outs still left, but in this inning, would be nice if the Gators can mount another threat here with 1 out. Nick Chalmers, just the guy to get that started for us.
Second pitch called strike on Chalmers. It'll be an 0-2 count coming in from Trilicek. Pitch on the way, and Chalmers checks his swing. They're going to check down to first base. No go. And it's a ball outside. Good job by Nick Chalmers. He's been 2 or 3 times today now. Chalmers been able to check a swing and not go around on a bad pitch. And so he lives to see another pitch here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning for the Gators. Pitch on the way. High and outside. Nice pitch by location there by Trilicek, trying to draw a swing from Chalmers. Just didn't work. So it evens out the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chalmers so far of the day has a double and a single. Hot at the plate. Next pitch, and Chalmers swings and misses. It's in the ground. Nicely blocks it, picks it up, throws it to first for the 2-3 put out. And a strikeout for Trilicek makes the 2nd out of the inning for the Gators. That'll bring up the 6-hole hitter, the designated hitter, number 21, Jack Bumpus for the Gators. Jack so far 0 for 2. He has a ground out to the third baseman and reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. Takes the first pitch low for a ball.
Once again, we've said it before on the broadcast, Jack Bumpus just showing up from JV and putting the ball in play. What a great job by that kid. Again, here we go. This one fouled off. It's on the third base side, but Jack Bumpus, a couple of outs here. No hits, but he's putting the ball in play, and that's what you want to see for the young kid that's just coming up. Hey, I tell you what, for being a young guy, he's unafraid. He's fearless. He goes up there and takes his hacks. Very much needed here in the bottom of the Gator lineup.
Bumpus from the left side. Steps back in, takes a pitch from Trilicek outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Gateway leads the game 2-1. Bumpus back in. Trilotrack delivers, and Bumpus fouls one back to the backstop. Evens up the count 2-2. I tell you what, I talked to Jack's father earlier before the game and just asked him, does Jack even have a conscience when it comes to baseball? The kid has come up to varsity and stepped in, filled his role, and just battles. He doesn't know any different, and it's great to see from the young kid. Jack, just a tall, lanky kid, steps in from the left side. Next ball, fouls it off back to the backstop.
As they say, as the scouts say in the majors, good bat to ball skills for the young man, and he's showing you that he can battle in the box.
Had that big double last night in the second game to right center field, and just continues to battle each and every at-bat. Never out of an at-bat. Bumpus back in the box. Trilotrack fires. Bumpus swings and a miss in the dirt. Nicely blocks it. Throws down to first to Schindler for the putout on the 2-3 putout, and that'll end the top of the sixth inning for the Gators. 3 up, 3 down for the Gators. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Gators leading 2-1, and be back here on SHN Sports after these words.
What? The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special, but there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games too, like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Texas. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph.
Yeah.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Welcome back to SHN Sports presentation of Gateway Gator Baseball. Here we come to the bottom of the sixth. So Hallettsville Brahmas coming up, trailing the Gators 2-1. Efren, bring us up to date here. Gators go with a pitching change here in the bottom of the sixth.
Interesting turn of events here for your Gateway Gators. We had Carter Parsons warming up, but Coach Gomer pulling out a different card and perhaps surprising some, bringing in the Bulldog from yesterday's win, Thomas Houle. So Coach Gomer taking no chances, bringing in his Bulldog to finish out the game. Well, at the very least this inning. So Thomas Houle coming back for double duty here in this series. Coach Gomer knowing his opponent and knowing their capabilities, taking no chances. We'll see how this decision plays out in this game.
Thomas Houle finishes his warm-up pitches as Sawyer Scott throws it down to second base. And the warm-ups here. The Brahmas will bring up to bat here in the bottom of the sixth. The six-hole hitter, the third baseman, number 13, Hunter Lacqua. Lacqua, Thigpen, and Hermes come up to bat for the Brahmas here in the bottom of the sixth. 2-1 lead for the Gators. The ever-important third game of the area playoff series here between the Brahmas and the Gators.
And the ever-important first batter here in these situations makes things so much harder on a pitcher, letting that leadoff hitter get on. Let's see if Thomas battles here and gets his first out.
Lacqua steps in against Houle. Thomas pitches, first pitch is a ball. Lacqua back in. Houle set from the stretch and delivers. And it's low and outside for ball 2. Lacqua batting from the right side, wearing number 13 for the Brahmas. Steps out, gathers, and back in and set. Houle set on the mound in the stretch for the Gators and delivers. The pitch on the inside part of the plate, called strike. He takes the count, 2 balls, 1 strike on Lacqua. Lacqua so far today, he's popped out twice, 1 to second base and 1 to first base. And he takes a hack at that pitch from Houle. And it is going to be a foul ball, which means?
That was really, really scary. Lacqua did not miss that one. As I watched the left fielder track that, I said, that is gone. But thankfully, that ball carried just about 5 feet left of the foul But, man, that was a scary one. If you're Sawyer Scott behind the plate, you don't want to go back to that pitch you just asked for there.
I think Hallettsville, the whole town here, believed that was going to be out. They all stood up and cheered. Luckily for the Gators, the ball carried foul, hit the fence there, just left of the 325 sign down the left field line. Next pitch from Huell, low and outside in the dirt, blocked by Sawyer Scott for ball 3. That'll bring it to a full count here. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 lead for the Gators. Brahmas batting in the bottom of the 6th. Lacqua up, and we'll face nothing here. Timeout called at the plate.
And this is a situation where you got to start thinking, if you're a Gator fan here, how long of a leash will you have on Thomas Huell? So far right here, he's been a little wild, and then he piped one right down the middle. Who knows how long he'll stick with Thomas if he struggles here at this at-bat.
Huell delivers a breaking ball. Low and outside, ball 4. Sawyer Scott throws the ball back to the pitcher. Huell over his head. Harmon comes in and builds it. Lacqua down to first base. Doesn't go anywhere else. And so we have one runner on, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Bringing up Case Thigpen, the second baseman for the Brahmas. So far today, he's got a triple down the right field line. And he flew out to the left fielder, Aaron Warchin, at his last at bat.
Exactly what you didn't want in that situation was a walk. If they're going to beat you, you got to allow them to beat you hitting the ball, but you didn't want any free passes. And so now Thomas Huell will have to deal with some stress here, as expected here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A very disciplined Brahma team, but nothing has been easy in this series, and you wouldn't expect that to change at this point.
And you made the point there. How long of a leash do you have here on Huell? You got Carter Parsons sitting in the dugout. You have
Gabe Dixon,
Daniel Brady, Luke Peterson.
Options.
You have many arms in there available that haven't thrown and in the series that can come in. And so we'll just have to watch that. First pitch to Thigpen on its way from Huell. Called a strike for an 0-1 count. Thigpen took the pitch there on the inside half. Lacqua down at first base, being held on by Gabe Dixon. Huell in the stretch. Bends over, takes a look at first base before coming set. Lacqua gets his lead off. Not very big at first base. Thigpen back in the box. On the pitch. And Thigpen fouls it off down the right field line. Out of play near the football stadium. And that'll take the count to 0-2 on Thigpen.
Yeah, and interesting change of pace here for Shorty Cook. And I think just with his experience, and he's been through these battles before, not a big lead over there at first base. He doesn't want to get too cute over there with that base runner.
Swing and a miss by Thigpen. Great pitch up in the strike zone by Huell. And he gets Thigpen to chase it for the first out. Strikeout for Huell. That's the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning, leaving Lacqua at first and bringing up the designated hitter, Ryan Hermes, for the Brahmas.
And this is a situation, again, where you're one pitch away from getting out of this inning. If you're Thomas Huell, a little ground ball double play would be a beautiful thing right here in this situation.
Hermes steps in, takes a cut at the first pitch, fouls it off into the glove of Sawyer Scott for a strike. And Huell works ahead quickly here, 0-1 to Hermes. Hermes so far had a single in the first inning right up the middle and struck out in his last at bat. Steps in 1 for 2 on the day in the designated hitter role for the Brahmas. Settles back in. Lacqua with a small lead off of first base, held by Gabe Dixon. Huell comes set on the mound, fires it home, and Hermes pops it up over to the right side, but it will find its way out of play and bring up an 0-2 count now on Hermes.
And in this situation, Hermes has already struck out today. The other thing that if you're Sawyer Scott and if you're Thomas, you're reading that swing. He's very late on both of those cuts. On that one, he's barely able to put wood on it. You want to go ahead and challenge this kid with a fastball right here.
I was just about to ask you, Efren, do you think he goes back like he did against Thigpen? High heater, see if he'll chase. You got it. You're up in the count, 0-2. No reason to give him anything here to hit.
This is the guy you want to go after. You have the top of the order coming around the corner, and you want to get this guy right here.
Lacqua with a small lead off first, held by Gabe Dixon there. Hermes back in the box. Pitch on the way, and it fouled off. It is a high heater by Huell. Fouled off by Hermes up and over off of the broadcast booth. And Hermes stays alive here. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 lead for your Gateway Gators. Thomas Huell on the mound for the Gators here in the 6th inning, replacing Cole Johnson, who pitched a gem of a game for the Gators. Huell delivers to Hermes. He'll ground ball to third base. E.J. Sanchez up, fires to second base. Harmon digs it out of the dirt. Great job by Harmon to field that ball. Sanchez made a good play. Hey, all around, the Gators passing around, helping each other out. Great job by Harmon there. Gets the force out at second base. Hermis safe at first, and we go to 2 outs.
Yeah, in the perfect world, you want EJ to have a better throw there to Simeon, but wow, what a play for Simeon to keep that in front of him and record the lead out there at second base. It's got to be a perfect turn for them to turn 2 there. Nonetheless, 2 down here. They get the lead runner. The defense can relax and play back, and now they are 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
Now we got a timeout here by Coach Shorty Cook of the Hallettsville Brahmas, talking to the home plate umpire. Not sure if he made any changes or what, if he's got a new runner in for Hermis at first. But he's talking to the home plate umpire, something being written down. And this will bring up the number 9 hitter for the Brahmas, Rylan Schindler. So for today, Rylan is 0-2, 2 fly outs to left field. Shorty Cook, the coach for the Hallettsville Brahmas, still talking to the home plate umpire. Discussion there on the third base line. While Huell and Scott still warm up a little bit, Huell gets some extra tosses in.
Looks like a roster change there, lineup change, so we'll see what that is. Now, here is the situation, number 10. At the plate, Schindler, we know he can make contact.
And we are going to have a pinch runner here for the Brahmas. Number 12, Eric Kostilnik will come in to run in place of Ryan Hermis. And so Hermis will be removed from the game at first base. Kostilnik comes in and runs, number 12 for the Brahmas. Kostilnik, a junior pitcher outfielder for the Brahmas, takes his place at first base and steps in Schindler here. So here we go in the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. And nothing count here to Schindler. It'll be a first pitch. Kostilnik, I would assume that you're going to put him in as a threat to run. He takes a pretty good lead off first base, held by Gabe Dixon. Huell fires in outside, 4-1 to Schindler. Kostilnik had a little bit of action yesterday doing DH work. He struck out twice, went 1 for 3 in the game he hit in the first game. Gateway won 2-1. Kostilnik gets his lead. Huell pitch, breaking ball. Outside corner for a ball, a little bit outside. 2-0 count to Schindler here. In the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Brahmas trying to push something across, make something happen as they find themselves in a 2-1 hole to the Gators. Kostilnik leads off first. Huell comes to the plate, wide, outside. Schindler bats from the left side. Nothing has been close to him so far. Everything on the outside part of the plate into the right batter's box. Schindler now sits on a fastball. You would expect 3-0 count here to Schindler, the 9-hole hitter. Kostilnik, not much of a lead now at first base. Dixon holds him on. Huell comes set and delivers. And high and outside, and he'll walk him. Schindler goes down to first base, moving Kostilnik to second. And 2 outs, bringing up the leadoff hitter, Jace Bluda for the Brahmas.
Nothing close there in that at-bat. All 4 of those pitches way outside to the left-hander. Again, it just begs the question, how long is Gomer going to stay with Thomas Huell, knowing the workload that he had yesterday, having options on the bench, in the bullpen? When is Coach Gomer going to make the change, if he makes the change? Again, none of those pitches even close. You have to wonder what's going through the coach's head in this situation. Now the tying run at second base with, let's see who's up here.
Bluda.
With Bluda, a guy who makes contact. He's your leadoff hitter up to the plate, and it looks like Coach Gomer is going to go with his bulldog, Thomas Huell, to record this last important out.
Bluda steps in, 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Kostilnik at second. Schindler at first. Huell fires a pitch, and it's high for ball 1. I have to believe Bluda probably taking all the way here, waiting for a strike. It's 5 straight balls now by Huell.
Yeah, if I'm a Hallettsville Brahma, I'm not swinging at anything right here. Thomas has not been close in the last 5 pitches.
Huell comes set, delivers to Bluda, and he takes a hack at it. Nice pitch by Huell, and a swing and a miss to even the count out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 lead for the Gators, the visiting team in this third and deciding game. Gators lead 2-1. Brahmas up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runners on. Kostilnik running at second base for the Brahmas. Schindler at first. Bluda, the leadoff hitter, right now sits 3 for 10 for the series in the game, but very dangerous at the plate. Settles into the 1-1 count. Huell comes set on the mound in the stretch, and he'll fire outside for ball 2. 2-1 count now on Bluta with the runners on base for the Brahmas. 2 outs. Huell needs to settle in here, keep himself out of any trouble. Brahmas can quickly open up a game if you give them the opportunity. Schindler leads off first, not being held on there. Kostelnik at second base. Harmon in and out. Chalman backs up. Harmon back into the hole. Huell will deliver to home plate. And it's going to be low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Bluta. A dangerous hitter. A leadoff position here for the Brahmas. Bluta is quick out of the box. Can swing the bat. And here we go. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch. Pops it up. And to the right side, up and out of play. Over the grandstand here. And it makes the count pull down. So Efren, what do we see here? Does Shorty Cook run? He didn't the last time. It was 3-2 and 2 outs. Here we have it. Bottom of the 6th. You're down 2-1, and you got bases. You got Kostelnik at second, Schindler at first, and a 3-2 count on Bluta.
Yeah, you got to know that the base runners are going to be running here, but let's see if Thomas challenges in here. If he gets beat, let him get beat with the fastball.
The runners go. Bluta fouls it off back into the back. Catchers of the back stand, and it's going to be another pitch coming to Bluta. Good job of fighting and battling there. On the pitch from Huell. As a matter of fact, Kostelnik and Schindler were off on the pitch. Kostelnik kind of delayed jump there, like he wasn't ready to go. Schindler off on motion by Huell. I'm sure we'll see it again. Here we reset. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Brahmas threatening. They got runners on first and second. Kostelnik on second. Schindler on first. Bluta at the plate. Bluta steps back in. Huell comes set. And he'll fire home. High and inside. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for the Brahmas.
Yeah, and this is one where, again, you want to play Monday morning quarterback, but you got to wonder why Coach Gomer did not go to his bullpen there. A lot of balls there in those last 2 at-bats. But Thomas battling, and I just saw Coach Gomer come out of the dugout and clap up his ace kind of for this season, really, if you think about it, Wally. He just clapped him up and said, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. So he is going to live and die with his Bulldog, Thomas Huell, here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the game on the line. Let's see if Thomas can come through.
Brings up number 4, Trace Jordan, the right fielder. So far today, he struck out, got on base on an error, and walked. He's 0 for 2. First pitch from Huell. Called a strike. Nice pitch by Thomas. Way to work ahead on this batter. You got the bases loaded of Brahmas. Kostelnik at second, Schindler at first. Kostelnik at third, Schindler at second, Bluta at first. No balls, 1 strike to Jordan. Second pitch in. He takes it for strike 2. Nice pitch by Thomas Huell. Everyone kind of hesitated there on the call, not knowing what was going to call. Jordan didn't swing, and he took a second strike.
And Jordan there just sits outside of the box and just stares at the umpire in disdain, saying, what? How is that a strike? Let's see if Thomas Huell can finish him here.
No balls, 2 strikes, and the payoff pitch. And he pops it up, and it's going to be back over the backstop into the crowd. What a horrible play by the fan, not catching the ball. Somebody boo that guy. I tell you what. Here we go, back to it. Hey, Jordan stays alive. 0 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas Huell attacking now. After 2 walks, he's attacking the batter here. And
this
Jordan.
Is the attitude that Thomas Huell has carried. This is his identity. He's a Bulldog. He needs to attack. It doesn't matter the situation. Right here, he's got to throw his fastball and see if he can beat him.
No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Huell. Dirty curve. Oh, a little bit elevated for the liking of the umpire. And it's called a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think the expectation from a lot of people looking in the stands was they thought 3rd strike had been called. We go back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan steps back in, bases full of Brahmas. They all get a lead. Huell delivers to the home plate. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Thomas Huell works himself out of trouble, and Jordan doesn't like it, turns around and talks to the umpire. And that quickly ends as an assistant coach runs out and pulls Jordan back after the bat throw, the helmet spike, and then nothing happening. Don't like to see that here in high school baseball, but a good job there by Thomas Huell fighting through. Bases loaded, and he works out of the jam. 2-1 into the 6th inning.
And that's why we're up here and not in the dugout. Wally, in that situation, I was really second-guessing the coach, but hey, that's why he gets paid the big bucks, right? Sticks with this guy. He says, hey, this is the guy that got me here. He's going to get me through this. And sure enough, Thomas Huell comes through, challenging him with a beautiful pitch on the outside corner, brings him up looking, What a pitch for Thomas in that situation.
So we'll just keep it here. We go to the 7th inning of this ever-important Game 3, the deciding game of the series between the Hallettsville Brahmas and the Gateway Gators. I tell you what, Efren, 3 great baseball games. You know what? I couldn't be any more pleased to be a part of this. SHN Sports carrying these games for the Gateway Gators, and we're appreciative of that and Rob Hipp and what he does for high school sports in the area, in the Georgetown area, and we're very appreciative. And just what an honor, man. This is a great series to be a part of. Honored to know that my kid's getting to play it, and an experience of a lifetime for him and your son, EJ. And, man, we go to the 7th, and what a battle. Trilicek comes back in the mound, pitching the entire game here for the Brahmas, and he'll face off against our catcher, number 18, Sawyer Scott.
Well, and here you go again. Both of the managers sticking with their horses, saying these are the guys that got me here, and we're going to stick with them. So we'll see what happens here in the top of the 7th. So luxurious to have another run for the Gators. Let's see if they can get something cooked up here.
First pitch by Trilicek to Sawyer Scott, low and unhittable there. Called a ball by the umpire. 1 ball, no strikes to Sawyer Scott. Sawyer's last at bat. Roped one down the left field line for a double. Steps back in for the next pitch, and it's on the outside. Called a strike. Outside corner, dropped by nicely. Umpire calls it a strike. Sawyer Scott watches it go by. 1-1 the count now to Sawyer Scott.
Yeah, a little replay of what he did last time at the plate would be really good right here for your Gators.
Scott steps in, gets a fastball, and smashes it back into the backstop. Timed it up, just missed the pitch. And it'll take it to a 1-2 count on Sawyer Scott, the 7-hole hitter here for the Gators. Trilicek steps back in. Sawyer Scott taking his time. Now he's back in the box, batting from the right side. Scott readies. Trilicek starts the windup and delivers. And a check swing, strike 3 on Sawyer Scott. Goes down for the first out here in the 7th inning for your Gators. And that'll bring up the pitcher, number 17, Thomas Ewell. And Efren, I guess that tells me the answer to my question I was about to ask is, do we see a DH and a new pitcher, or do we see Thomas Ewell and know that he's coming back in the 7th?
Well, obviously because he's hitting, that's going to lean you towards saying he's going to come back to finish this thing out. But by the way, Thomas is an aggressive hitter. Let's see if he can get on base and help him his own cause.
Gators do have someone warming up down in the bullpen on the first base side. Trilicek delivers the first pitch high and off the glove and nicely to the backstop for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Thomas Ewell. And that is true. Thomas does play outfield for the Gators ever so often. And so not surprising to see him hit. He could easily hit here and then bring someone else in to pitch, but makes you think he'll be back on the mound. Second pitch from Trilicek, low, balls 2 to Thomas Ewell. Patient at bat for Ewell. Ewell is a free swinger, like we've said multiple times this series. But he's settled in now. And the pitch from Trilicek on the inside corner. And nicely having a hard time closing that glove with a ball in it, surprisingly. And that's called a strike on Thomas Ewell. Ewell backs out. Now back in the box. Trilicek delivers. Inside. Almost hit him.
He did hit him.
Or was it ball 4? I may have been one behind. Looks like it was ball 4.
Oh.
Then we got ball 4. Thomas Ewell down to first base. Pardon me, I missed a pitch there.
It works out the same. Maybe it didn't hit him, but it still got him over to first base.
That it did. And so here we have number 15, Reese Peterson. He'll be on first base running for Ewell. Now that even kind of assures that. You think Thomas Ewell will be back in here in the 7th inning. Brings up number 10, Monster Harmon. My son comes up for the at-bat here. Top of the 7th, important part here for the Gators. Good opportunity to try to do some work. They got to get some more work. You're not comfortable 2-1 against these Brahmas.
You're not comfortable at all, and right here's a situation where you almost want to see number 10 put down a bunt here and give the Gators the chance for one swing to tie this game. Let's see what Coach Gomer pulls out of his bag of tricks here. If it were me, I'd be putting down the bunt here and give us a chance for one swing to get another run.
Reese Peterson with the leadoff. Harmon steps in. Ball low and outside. Oh, never mind. Called a strike by the umpire. Taken by Simeon. So it'll be an 0-1 count. Reese Peterson not getting a big lead over there off of first base. Timeout called by the first base umpire. Something down the line. So we'll have a little delay in play while they get something off the field. I guess a wild ball from the warm-up there went on the field. And so now we're back ready for play. Harmon steps back in the box, down to 0 balls. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Reese Peterson with a small lead off first, held by Schindler. Trilicek pitches. Harmon drives it over the second baseman's head into right field. A diving catch by the right fielder. And Peterson gets doubled off, runs from the base, doesn't go back and tag, not halfway. And the Brahmas get out of the inning unscathed. Tough play there made by the right fielder.
Nothing you can do there in that situation. Wally, the base runner there, it's over his head. That's a tough read for him to know if that ball's going to get down. Off the bat, it looked like an easy line drive, but it hung up. Reese is bucking it to try to get to third base, go first and third in that situation. Nothing you can do there, but good job of hitting there by Simeon, hitting the ball real hard. But that brings up the situation now. 3 outs, the 3 hardest outs in baseball. It is the bottom of the 7th, 3 outs from your Gators punching a ticket to the next level of the playoffs.
Tell you there, what that all fed on, I think you would agree, Efren, all series long, the Brahmas have played their outfield in a little bit. Jordan makes a sliding catch there on Harmon's ball. Beautiful shot over the second baseman into shallow right field. Jordan makes a great play sliding in and taking the catch away, taking the out away from the Gators. And just tough. Reese wanted to circle the bases. You got to think it's going to be a base hit, and in most instances it would. Shorty Cook played his outfield perfectly there, and it paid off for him.
That's just what I was going to say, Wally, hey, this guy hasn't won all those championships for not being a smart baseball man. I mean, he has, throughout the series, played his outfield shallow, and it has paid dividends for him. It makes his outfielders those plays a lot easier to make. Not a whole lot over their heads except for the Sawyer Scott double, but now that pays dividends for them here. Pitching change coming into the bottom of the 7th. What do you got, Wally?
We got Gabe Dixon coming in, the lefty first baseman for the Gators. He steps in, joins on the mound. That'll bring Daniel Brady into first base in the position of Cole Johnson, Thomas Ewell into that 8-hole. Daniel Brady will step in and move to first base, and then Gabe Dixon will slide to the mound. Just a different look here for the Brahmas in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's exactly what I was just going to say, Wally. In this situation, the Brahmas have hit, and they're good hitters. They're going to get a whole different look here now with Gabe Dixon, the southpaw. Has a quirky delivery, quirky windup. It's going to be a different angle. Let's see if this pays dividends for Coach Gomer. Switching things up. Gabe Dixon, again, a quality lefty, has not gotten used a lot, but in this situation, they've seen hard-throwing right-handers the whole series, and here you go to get these last 3 outs. He's going to switch it up and go with the left-hander, Gabe Dixon. I think here it's going to be a different look for the Brahmas. Let's see how they handle it.
And look who he's facing. 3, 4, 5. Rhett Trilicek, Ryan Targach.
Wouldn't have been any other way, right,
and Grant Nicely.
Nothing easy against these Hallettsville
And the Brahmas couldn't ask for any more coming up to the end of their season here. Possibility, if they don't score any runs, the ball game's over. First pitch, a strike by Dixon. Nice breaking ball in on the hands of Trilicek. Takes it for a strike, 0-1.
And that's exactly an angle that they have not seen all weekend long, Wally. Those pitches, that the way that southpaw, different quirky delivery, did not know what to do with that one there.
Second pitch, a little bit elevated, called a ball. Evens out the count, 1-1 on Trilicek. Gabe Dixon, the southpaw, comes in. Lefty on the mound, number 2. Trilicek, the opposite pitcher. His counterpart in the ballgame for the Brahmas, steps in, number 8. And this next pitch, up the middle. Harmon ranges to the right, behind the back, makes a throw to first base. Scooped by Brady, but not in time. Great job of Trilicek to get out of line on an infield single. Great play by Harmon to range over. Just a long throw to try to get back to get Trilicek at first.
Nothing you can do there. Great job by Trilicek to put the ball in play. Simeon making an outstanding play up the middle, and even a better throw. Daniel Brady coming in off the bench and making a beautiful scoop there. Not in time. Big deal. You kept it from going to the outfield. And now the Brahmas, of course, as they have done all weekend long, not making anything easier for your Gateway Gators.
Trilicek on first, takes a small lead. Brady holds him on. Dixon throws to Ryan Targach. First pitch outside for a ball. A 1-0 count on Targach. Targach, the cleanup hitter, playing shortstop today for your Brahmas here out of Hallettsville. Steps in, 2-1, ball game. Inside curveball. Breaks in. Targach almost looked like he tried to walk into that one to get hit. Umpire, I think, talked to him and said, I don't think that's going to work next time. Takes a ball anyway. 2 balls, no strikes on Targach.
You got to appreciate that, though. These guys understand the game. Well-coached team.
Pitch in. Targach skies a ball towards third base, but it's going to find its way out into the grassy knoll behind the dugout for a long strike. Great job by EJ tracking the ball all the way to the dugout, but no chance to make a play there. 2-1 count here on Targach. No outs, 1 runner on in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, you would have wanted that leadoff hitter not to get on, but you just kind of knew the way that these Hallettsville Brahmas have battled that it was not going to be easy.
Trilicek leads off first. Brady holds him on. Dixon to the plate. Third ball outside. 3-1 now to the Targach. Battered Targach stepping in from the right side. Dixon doesn't like the ball. That one was too many balls in it. We're going to switch it up. Maybe a little wet coming out of the field. And Sawyer Scott throws a new one in. Gabe will reset. Targach backs out and settles back in the box. Trilicek on first base.
Great situation here for a double play for your Gators. Boy, we could use a ground ball in the worst way here.
Dixon fires home. Targach skies another one off to the right. It looks like he's got his home run swing going, like he is selling for nothing but a bomb. Unfortunately, the two bombs he's gotten a hold of here have been two pop-outs out of play for strikes, and that brings up a full count here on Targach, the cleanup hitter for the Brahmas. Dixon gets a ball, settles back on the mound. Trilicek at first for the Brahmas, held on by Daniel Brady. Targach back in the box. Looks like he's saying 2-2 on the count. I thought it was 3-2. Full count. Dixon fires it in and fouled off back into the backstop by Targach, and he stays alive. It is a full count. It's hard to read the umpire's hands from up here in the box, but we do have a full count. No outs in the bottom of the seventh. 2-1 lead for your Gators. Trilicek on first. A little bit bigger lead here. Daniel Brady holding him on. Lefty Gabe Dixon on the mound. Fires the pitch. And strike 3. Throws down to second. Trilicek running, and he is safe at second base. But Targach strikes out for the first out of the inning.
But advantage Brahmas there. Gabe Dixon scores the out, the ever important first out. But now the Brahmas with the runner in scoring position.
Tying run moves to second base on the stolen base there. Trilicek moves up. Strikeout first of the game there for Dixon and for Targach. A big strikeout for Gabe Dixon. Brings up the catcher. He's over 3 today. Grant Nicely, number 25. And there will be a timeout here. Sawyer Scott will go out to the mound, talk to Gabe Dixon, settle things down. So let's get it all reset, Efren. We're in the bottom of the seventh, game 3 of this area playoff matchup between the Hallettsville Brahmas and the Gateway Gators. Game 1 went to the Gators 2-1 yesterday at Leander Glenn High School. 30 minutes later, we played game 2, and the Brahmas won 3-1. Both good battles, back and forth, and the Brahmas sent it to day 2. Here we are in San Marcos, Texas, on the campus of a beautiful campus, San Marcos High School, home of the Rattlers. And we have game 3. We're in the bottom of the seventh. 2 runs for the...
Another one-run game.
Another one-run game between these two teams. We have one runner on. Trilicek is at second base for the Brahmas. The catcher in the 5-hole, Grant Nicely, steps in with 1 out. And the tying run is at second base for the Brahmas. The winning run would be at the plate in Nicely. Gabe Dixon comes set on the mound, looks back to second base a couple of times. He'll fire home. And Nicely fires one out to right field over the head of Noah Krieger. It's going to bounce twice into the wall. Krieger tracks it down. Krieger chunks it in. He gets it in over Harmon's head. Harmon cuts it off to second base. And Nicely into second base scores the run. Trilicek scores from third and ties the ball game here in the bottom of the seventh.
And Nicely's been tough all weekend long. He's just been an imposing hitter. Everything he's hit has been hit hard. This time over the head of Noah Krieger. No way nobody's hit it out in that direction the whole weekend. And wouldn't you know it, here in the bottom of the seventh, Grant Nicely coming through for the Hallettsville Brahmas with the absolute bomb over Noah Krieger's head in right field.
Timeout called here. It looks like we'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher Nicely that was made it to second base. Hey, you know what? Like we've talked about, Efren, the outfielders have really been playing in this series. There's the costly effect. You have this big catcher batting for the Brahmas. He's hit the ball hard every time, and he gets a nice double, and Krieger just had no chance. He was beat right away.
Yeah, nothing you can do there. That ball was absolutely smoked. Again, nobody hadn't hit that ball that hard all day long, and Noah Krieger just caught off guard there. That one way over his head. Nothing he can do. 2 hops the wall. That's how hard that one was hit. And Noah Krieger, of course, playing shallow and playing the base hit to try to eliminate the run at home in that situation. So not much you can do there. But now they put on the runner. They put on the hitter, and so now first and second with 1 out. Setting up the double play.
Lockwell draws the intentional walk, puts the force play into action for the Gators. So you have A courtesy runner on second for Nicely. Lacroix put on first base. Dixon delivers to Thigpen. First pitch is a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 the count now on Thigpen. So far today, remember Thigpen in the second inning had the triple down the right field line. They got past Krieger and started off the rally for the Brahmas.
Well, and in this situation, Gabe Dixon's, okay, we're at a tie game now. The runner's at second base, the winning run. You just got to settle in here, make your pitch, and let your defense help you get those 2 outs.
Next pitch from Dixon, low and in the dirt. Blocked by Sawyer Scott for a ball. Takes the count, I believe, to 2-1.
Good job of Sawyer Scott keeping that in front of him, not allowing that runner to get from second to third base.
Thigpen settles in. Dixon fires in. Called strike on the outside corner for strike 2. That'll even out the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Courtesy runner on second base. Didn't get his number when he went out for Nicely. Gets a lead up second. Lacroix up at first base for the Brahmas. Dixon set and fires in and fouled off back into the backstop by Thigpen. And he'll stay alive with a 2-2 count.
Good battle again. These Brahma hitters really tough at the plate. You're not going to get away with anything with them. I mean, they're up there swinging, they're hacking, and they're having a good approach to have all weekend long.
Thigpen steps back in the box. The runner off at second base. Lacroix off first. Dixon fires. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th for the Brahmas. Thigpen goes down on strikes. Great job by Gabe Dixon there going after the hitter. And that'll bring up our designated hitter spot for the Brahmas, number 17, Ryan Hermes. Hermes so far reached on a fielder's choice last at bat, had a single in the first inning up the middle and struck out his second at bat. So he's sitting 1 for 3 on the day. Hermes comes up, 2 runners on, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, tie ball game. And the first pitch high and outside, ball 1.
Yeah, and if you're Gabe Dixon, this is the guy that you want to come after. Again, you've seen his swings. A couple of Ks in the game already, 1 I know for sure. And so you want to go after this guy and not let it get back to the top.
Dixon fires in a dirty curveball. Hermes swinging a miss. Sawyer Scott, great job of blocking it, keeping it in front of him. Doesn't get the runners a chance to move up, and evens the count out 1-1. Bottom of 7th, 2-2 game. Surprise, surprise. 2-2 game. Bottom of the 7th. Brahmas have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. They got runners on first and second with 2 outs. 1-1 count on the designated hitter, Ryan Hermes. Next pitch from Dixon on the outside corner. Breaking ball. Called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Dixon going after Hermes here. The number 8-hole hitter for the Brahmas.
Tough hook over there on that outside of the plate.
And the pitch. On the outside corner, just outside, called a ball. Evens the count back out, 2-2 for Hermes. Dixon going for that outside corner one more time, trying to get the call from the blue behind the plate. Here we got it, bottom of the 7th, 2-2 on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a pitch. Swing and a miss by Hermes, and we'll go to the extra innings. We'll follow the path of the Gerald Cougars and the Puff Pirates and take it to extra innings. 2-2 ball game. We'll take a break here, see what irons out with the Brahmas and their pitching as we go to the top of the 8th. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Gateway Gators. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Brahmas. We'll be back here on SHN Sports in just a minute. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning here. SHN Sports coverage of Gateway Gator baseball. We go to the 8th inning tied 2 apiece for the Gators and Brahmas. And the Gators bring up in the top of the 8th. The leadoff hitter, Chris Barlin. Trilicek still in there for the Brahmas. First pitch is low and a ball. Trilicek, that's his 90th pitch of the game, my friend.
Yeah, and pitching really, really well. And Shorty Cook kind of going the way of Coach Gomert is saying, I'm going to stay with my horse. He throws a strike there to even the count at 1-1. So both the coaches going with the guys that got him here.
Barlin steps back in, 1-1 count. Top of the 8th, Trilicek fires. Barlin fouls it off back to the backstop to the left side. And he's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trilicek just firing all day long as he's now in the 90s. He's got a kid warming up in the bullpen, a lefty for the Brahmas. We'll get a name here in just a second as Trilicek sets and delivers. And Barlin fouls one off down the right field line out of play and stays alive with the 1-2 count.
Good job of Chris fighting that one off on the outside part of the plate.
Number 22, Kyler Kavanitz, warming up in the Brahmas bullpen down the third base line. Barlin steps back in. Trilicek fires. Barlin swing and a miss on a low breaking ball for the first out at the top of the 8th inning. And he goes down on strikes. Trilicek still hammering it out here in the 8th inning.
I'll tell you what, we have not been disappointed with the pitching that these Hallettsville Brahmas have provided. Boy, all series long, they have had some really tough pitchers that just battled and just really pumped strikes the whole time.
Gabe Dixon steps back up for the Gators. Trilicek fires high for ball 1. Good job by Gabe Dixon watching the pitch there as it was high and out of the zone. Dixon comes up to bat here. 1 for 3 on the day. Ground out to third. Pop up to first base and a base hit in his last at bat. Takes a swing and a miss there on the second pitch for a 1-1 count now on Dixon. 1 out, top of the 8th, 2-2 ball game here. Into extra innings are the Gators and the Brahmas. Trilicek fires low and inside. The ball 2 to Gabe Dixon. The number 2 hole hitter here for the Gators. What you want for the Gators? You got 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up. Dixon steps back in. Trilicek fires. It looks like it's called a strike. Looked a little low up here. I don't have the angle. And he did. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gabe Dixon. Taking all the way around here. Hasn't swung. Trilicek fires. Dixon takes it. And low for ball 3. And a full count. So the battle begins here. 3-2 count on Dixon. 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. Trilicek in the windup and sets to deliver. Low and outside. No, it is not. That is a called third strike. And there is some cheering on one side and some, I can't believe it's on the other.
Wow, that pitch from up here looked like it was pretty far outside. Maybe not.
Tough pitch to be called a third strike here in the 8th inning. But you got to give it to him. Can't let the umpires call the game. Got to protect and with a full count. Dixon goes down looking on strikes for the second out of the top of the 8th inning. Brings up number 14, Noah Krieger. First pitch from Trilicek is a ball. Krieger starts off 1-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-2 ball game.
Krieger is due for a hit here in this series.
Krieger settles in. Ball comes in. He bounds it up the middle. Targach cuts it off in front of the base. Lobs it over to first base. Schindler for the out. And 3 up, 3 down for the Gators. Not much of a fight there in the top of the 8th inning. That'll take us to the bottom of the 8th. Extra innings here in San Marcos between the Hallettsville Brahmas and the Gateway Gators. We'll be back here on SHN Sports in a minute. Welcome back to SHN Sports presentation of Gateway Gator Baseball here in the battle in San Marcos, Texas, the campus of San Marcos High School. Gateway Gators and the Hallettsville Brahmas go to the bottom of the 8th. The Brahmas come up with a chance to win it in extra innings here. It's a 2-2 ball game. Gabe Dixon back on the mound, and he'll face the 9, 1, and 2 slots for the Brahmas. Rylan Schindler steps in, and the first pitch from Dixon in the bottom of the 8th is a called first strike. 0-1 count to Schindler. So far today, Schindler 0 for 2 and a walk.
Good job of Gabe pitching ahead there.
Next pitch, breaking ball, little low for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Schindler batting from the left side again. Steps back in. Dixon, the left-hander, winds up and throws. Inside corner, strike 2 called.
Good job of Gabe pitching inside there to the lefty, not letting him extend his hands.
Great job there. Schindler loves to slap the ball, get something out over the plate, will take a hack at it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dixon winds up and fires. Breaking ball. Schindler fights it off down the first baseline foul towards the Gateway dugout.
Another great pitch by Gabe again, just busting him up inside with that hanger.
Dixon did a good job there. That bending ball came in last minute. Schindler does a great job. I tell you what, he's been a scrappy hitter all series long, just fighting off pitches and battling. And Dixon winds up, fires. 1-2 count. Schindler punches one to shortstop. Chalmers built it in the hole. Hard throw to first. Stretch out by Brady. Not in time. And Schindler beats it out for an infield single. Deep part of the hole there, but unable to get the out. Schindler moving down the line for the infield hit.
Another one of those tough luck plays, just like Simeon's up the middle. This time Nick going deep in the hole. Just the throw not strong enough there to get him. If I was the official scorer, I'd give that an infield hit. We'll see how they score it, but tough luck for your Gators. Nick does a good job of get there. Maybe the throw needed to be a little bit stronger there.
That'll bring up the leadoff hitter in the 1 hole for the Brahmas. Jace Bluda, he steps in, takes the first pitch for a called strike. 0-1 count on Bluda with a runner on first base. Schindler on first for the Brahmas. Tie ball game, 2-2, bottom of the 8th here. Important at-bat here for the Brahmas and the Gators. This is just crazy. The winning run on first base, and Shorty Cook will call a timeout and have a conversation with his batter. Bluda goes down, and the conversation begins. Bluda's the hitter, and you wonder if he'll take the bat out of his hands and give up the sacrifice to get your winning run to second base with 1 out.
Well, if what we've learned this weekend from these guys is they do not put a lot of bunts down. They let their guys hit. They want to hit. We'll see if he changes it up here.
Sawyer Scott goes out and visits with Gabe Dixon while Bluda and Coach Shorty Cook have their conversation. Both conversations in, and Bluda steps back in the box from the right side. Gabe Dixon, the lefty for the Gators on the mound, comes set in the stretch. Schindler on first base, not much of a lead, held on by Daniel Brady. Gabe Dixon looks and fires home. Low and in the dirt, blocked by Sawyer Scott, and it's a 1-1 count now on Bluda. Bluda so far 0-2 for the day with 2 walks for the Brahmas.
One of the luxuries that the Gators have right now is that Gabe Dixon is a lefty, so the base runner at first base not being able to take a big lead, and Gabe even so still throws over there to make sure that he keeps him tight. But advantage there for the Gators in that the lead cannot be that big with Gabe being a left-hander. And by the way, has a really good move over there.
Throw over to first. Schindler back in time. Brady back to Gabe. Comes set. Pitch inside and a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Bluda. Bluda steps back in quickly. Gabe looking in for the pitch. Bluda comes set, ready to go. Dixon set, gets his pitch, and he'll come home. And the pitch called strike 2. Bluda yet to swing at this bat. Not very characteristic of him. He's been an aggressive hitter, making contact, but smart hitter. He's walked a couple of times today already, but that evens out the count. 2-2. Dixon comes set. Schindler leads off. Low and in the dirt. Blocked by Scott. Schindler goes nowhere. Good job by Scott to keep it right around the home plate area. And brings up a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs for the Brahmas with a winning run. Currently on first base in Schindler.
Once again, Sawyer Scott showing off his blocking ability there, keeping the runner from going into scoring position.
Schindler with a little lead off, held by Brady. Dixon in. Bluda grounds it past the pitcher. Chalmers has to rush in. Can't make the play. I guess he got hit by Dixon's glove. Slowed it down to where Chalmers couldn't make a play. Fires the first, but Bluda gets down the line. And here we go. No outs, 2 runners on.
And you just got to feel for our Gateway Gators. Just some unfortunate plays there. The ball hit right back at the pitcher. And again, once you're coming off of that mound, some of those choppers are hard to field because your footing is not set. You're coming downhill to try to field it. It was a tough play for Gabe to make. Knocks it down, and guess what? He knocks it down just to slow it down enough to where it cannot get to Nick fast enough. Nick makes a great play to try to get it over there, safe at first base, and now the ball not bouncing the Gators' way. Let's see if Gabe can make a couple of pitches here and get out of this mess here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Infield single scored for Bluta. He's at first base. Schindler at second base now. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 ball game. And that brings up the 2-hole hitter, number 4, Trace Jordan, the right fielder. He'll score around a bunt, and he bunts it foul down the third base line. So E.J. Sanchez charges in and makes sure he gets touched with no opportunity to go back foul. Nice bunt there by Trace Jordan. He scored around late, and the Gators get lucky on the foul ball.
Yep, EJ's got to know what he's going to be doing here on this situation. If he shows bunt again, is he charged if he's going to first base? That's going to be the natural play, is to just go ahead and get you out at first base.
Trace Jordan steps back in the box, lead off second base for Schindler. The shift is on the wheel. Jordan squares around, takes strike 2. I tell you, that was a good play there. After you see EJ charging in, as Trace Jordan squared, Chalma took off for third base, so they had it covered there, and the bunt got laid down. That was a good play. Gators ready for that one.
Yeah, and good job by Nick getting over there to third base. Let's see what's on here with 2 strikes. You got to think he's not going to bunt anymore.
0-2 count, wild pitch, swings, and he's out. That'll be an out for Trace Jordan. Can't advance to first base with it occupied, I believe, with no outs. It has to be a 2 or outs or an open base.
Nope. Yeah, it looks like some controversy. They're saying that was touched, maybe. I don't know what Coach Gomert is signaling there. He's saying that that's a foul ball. He swung in foul tip that. But in any event, again, bad set of circumstances here. Gabe Dixon able to get the punch out. Sawyer Scott not able to hold it. And then another base runner on with nobody out here. So now things really getting complicated for the Gators.
So here we go. We're going to have a conference now. Coach Gomer came out, talked to the home plate umpire. They are going to confer together outside between the mound and first base in a conference with them to see what's going on. I think you're right. Gomer was thinking the ball was tipped, which is why Sawyer Scott didn't catch it. It didn't look like it was in the dirt, so it would have been a surprise if it's just a pitch that Sawyer Scott missed. But it's going to see what happens here, what the call is. If it's a foul ball, we're back at the plate, back where we were with 2 runners on, first and second, no outs, and Trace Jordan at the plate. If not, we got the bases full of Brahmas. And he is going to be out. The base was occupied at the time. Can't be occupied at the time of the bat unless there's 2 outs. Then it becomes a free run to go down. So you have runners on first and second for the second and third. Schindler goes to third on the strikeout and the ball that gets passed. Let's see here. Bluta goes down to second. Trace Jordan is recorded as a strikeout for his out. And it'll bring up Trilicek. 1 out for the Gators, and I'm assuming here you're going to put Trilicek on first base to get the force play. Infield is playing in, and they're not going to do it. It's going to have a second and third with 1 out. And Dixon, it looks like he may just not even throw anything close. Throws it wide. Sawyer Scott does a good job at getting out and blocking that ball. 1-0 count here to Trilicek, batting from the right side. Dixon, the left-handed pitcher, and he fires outside. Ball 2. What do you think, Effort? Does he go to the unintentional intentional walk here, load the bases to get the force out at any base, or do we go after him? Looks like we went after him. Nice.
Well, it looks like you're going to go ahead and go after him here. The infield is playing in, and this is a tough situation. So what you're looking to do here is you're looking to get a ground ball, look the runner back at third base, and go to first base and record your out.
2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is low for ball 3. So a 3-1 count to Trilicek. So you have nothing to lose here. You throw it somewhere, try to get him to chase. If you walk him, you load the bases and put the force on at any spot with 1 out.
Yeah, and they just go ahead and give it to him here. So Gomert says, yeah, let's go ahead and put him on, just like you said, Wally. So now they'll load the bases. the infield. Let's see how they would play it. Well, I think you got to play everybody in here, and you're all in at this point. The game's on the line. They'll probably play all the infield in, and you'll take your chances with Target here with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Targach, for the first time in the series, will turn around and bat right-handed. Switch hitter for the Brahmas in the 4-hole. He'll step in and face the left-handed Dixon for the first time in the game, in the series. Targach steps in from the right side. Bases loaded. Schindler at second. Bluta at first. Trilicek at first base. And the first pitch from Dixon is fouled off out of play over the right side out of the into the grandstand area by Targach.
So let me set it up here, Wally. The middle infielders, the shortstop and the second baseman, are playing back, of course, trying to get it out of this with the double play, and the corners are playing in, of course, with the play at the plate.
Pitch from Dixon outside for ball 1. 1-1 count to Targach.
Boy, that was a good-looking pitch there.
Bottom of the 8th, 2-2 ball game. Bases loaded for the Brahmas. Winning run 90 feet away with a cleanup hitter up to bat. Dixon fires in, and a swing and a foul ball down the right field line for the Brahmas and out of play. Just another long strike for Targach, and that'll bring the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great job of all the craziness here in the bottom of the 8th of Dixon just going back to work. He settles in against their cleanup hitter, and he's ahead of him now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And
there has not been a whole lot of strikeouts against these Hallettsville Brahmas. Right here would be a great place for one of them right here, Wally.
Bases loaded, pitch in, low. Called a ball by the umpire. Targach took it, and it's 2-2 count, 1 out.
The Gator faithful up there on their feet. They wanted that call. Tough no call there for the strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Dixon set, fires to Targach. Up and away for ball 3. And here we have a full count now. Ryan Targach steps back in. The Hallettsville faithful come to their feet, cheering, yelling, clapping, everything they could think of to cheer on Targach as he steps back in with a full count, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2 ball game, and let's kill the momentum and call a timeout. Sawyer Scott goes out to the mound here. EJ joins him on the mound, talking to Gabe Dixon. Shorty Cook will use the time here to talk to his 2 hitters, Targach and his on-deck hitter nicely. EJ encouraging Dixon. He walks back off, and now Sawyer Scott just sits and visits with Dixon, try to keep him calm. Big pitch here. Critical point of the ball game.
Well, at this point, the last thing you want to do is throw a ball. You want to throw it right down the middle. If you get beat, you get beat with your best pitch. But tough situation for Gabe to be in right here.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Schindler is on third for the Brahmas. The runner at second is Bluta, and the runner at first is Trilicek. Targach steps in the box with a full count, 1 out. Gabe Dixon goes to the windup, and now he will go to the stretch. Sets and gets ready to fire. Targach ready at the plate. Dixon rears back and fires. Curveball, strike 3 called on Targach. What a dirty pitch by Gabe Dixon. Nerves of steel to throw that beautiful breaking ball. Gets the second out of the inning on a called third strike. And here we go again.
I don't know that anybody in this stadium or within 100 miles of this place would think a curveball is coming in that situation, except for Sawyer and Gabe Dixon. What a gutsy pitch there in that situation. And now the defense can relax and play at their regular depth, but facing the guy that got them into this situation in the first place, the catcher, nicely.
Nicely steps in, takes the first pitch low outside for a ball. Doesn't get the call there. Dixon kind of squats down on the mound, kind of looking for some help there for the umpire. Does not get it. A 1 ball, no strikes to Nicely. Grant Nicely had that beautiful double to right field over the head of Noah Krieger in the last inning in the 7th, which was crucial to tie the ball game up. Dixon comes set, 1 ball, no strikes to Nicely, and a curveball in there for a strike. Evens the count out. Nice pitch by Dixon, and it brings us to 1-1. On the count, 2 outs. Bases still loaded for the Brahmas. Bottom of the 8th, winning run 90 feet away for the Brahmas. Schindler on the third base. And a hanging curveball there up and out of the zone for ball 2. Nicely steps out of the box. And he'll reset. Schindler on third. Bluta, second base. And Trilicek on first for the Brahmas. 90 feet away is Schindler, the winning run. Nicely steps in. Dixon fires the home plate. And it looks like Nicely punches one to left field. Works it running back, and he gets his stumbles. Buddy makes the catch about 15 feet short of the wall to end this ever crazy bottom of 8th inning. The Brahmas had everything they wanted.
And on that play, Werchen loses his footing, falls down. You were thinking this thing is over. Regains his composure, gets back on his feet, close to the fence, makes the play, and wow, what a job by Gabe Dixon. Nothing goes the way of the Gators there as far as the bounce of the baseball, and Gabe Dixon pitches himself out of a bases-loaded jam, and the Gators will go to the top of the 9th inning.
I tell you what, I think you can enjoy the sound here in the booth with us. I think we all thought that ball may have been gone. Nicely just teed it up and hit it a ton. It was crazy to watch. I tell you what, Aaron Werchen's played a great outfield this series. He's done everything you've asked him to do. He's run down the balls on the left of him. He's run by balls on the right of him. He's done his job defensively in the outfield. And right there you thought this would be horrible to watch if he fell and didn't get to it. Recovers, makes the catch, and here we go to the 9th inning.
The luxury that Aaron had on that play was that ball was hit so hard, it was high in the sky. So it gave him enough time to regain his composure and make the play. But here we go. The Gators, momentum swings now back to the Gators here in the top of the 9th inning.
That's got to be pretty frustrating. I guess, like you said, you got the pitcher warming up again for the Brahmas. We're going to switch across. The Brahmas are still have the pitcher warming up. They're Cabanets, but he'll stay in the bullpen. Trilicek comes back out here in the 9th inning for the Brahmas, and he'll go again. He's got to be in close to the 100-pitch mark. He went in, started the last inning at 89, but had a quick inning. And so here we come in the top of the 9th, 2-2 ball game. Extra innings on tap again as we go to the 9th. Bringing up 4, 5, and 6 for the Gators. Good spot for the Gators to come up. E.J. Sanchez, number 12, steps in to face Trilicek here in the top of the 9th. Trilicek from the windup, and he delivers. First pitch, called a strike, taken by Sanchez for a strike. No balls, 1 strike.
Opportunity here for E.J. to come through. Has not got a hit yet today.
Second pitch, low and in the dirt, breaking ball by Trilicek for ball 1. Nicely does a good job of blocking it and keeping it in front of him.
Last at bat, EJ just smoked one right back up the middle, and Trilicek throws his glove up and knocks it down, and EJ gets thrown out. But a good ball he hit in his last at bat. We'll see if he can do the same here. Looking at a 2-1 count now with that pitch outside.
And breaking ball by Trilicek, low and outside. Nicely, good job there, keeping that in front of him. Snags it off the turf. Sets back up, 2-1 to Sanchez. Fastball delivered and swing and a miss for Sanchez on a low and inside pitch. That'll even the count out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You can tell Trilicek pitching a little differently here to EJ. The last couple of times he's hit balls up the middle. He smoked out one off of the hand of Trilicek. The bat just luckily bounced to the second baseman. Settle in, 2-2 count, and back up the middle. Targach builds it on a run in front of second base, lobs it to Schindler at first base to record the out. 6-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 9th for the Gators.
Yep, tough day for EJ at the plate today, but give all the credit to Trilicek. He's making them hit his pitches.
Absolutely. Trilicek just doing a job here for the Brahmas. So top of the 9th, 1 out. Reset the count and steps in number 3, the shortstop, Nick Chalman. Pitch number 1 from Trilicek is up in the zone for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Chalman. Chalman steps out, back in the box and settles. Trilicek on the way. Fires pitch number 2. Down the middle for a cold strike. Evens the count out at 1-1. Top of the 9th, 2-2 ball game. Gateway and Hallettsville. Brahmas trying to work back down to the bottom of the 9th to get back up to bat. Third pitch on Chalman inside. Part of the plate, called a strike. Chalman taking there. And so Chalman steps back in, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Trilicek steps off, now back in, going from the windup, selects the pitch and starts the windup towards the plate. Pitch comes in, Chalman takes a cut at it, it looked like. Nicely, it's in the dirt. They're going to peel down to first. Chalman called the chick swing, he went around. That'll be a strikeout in the books. Nicely tagged him for the second out of the inning. And the Gators down to their last out here in the 9th.
Yeah, so not a good effort here by the Gators here in the top of the 9th. EJ with the little grounder up the middle, and then Nick Chalman They're saying he checked there on that pitch that was way outside of the zone, kind of meanders back to the dugout, but would have wanted a little bit better. But you never know. Could be a 2-out rally here. Looks like the pitching change is coming up.
Cabanets coming into the game. Coach Shorty Cook for the Brahmas calls timeout, goes to the mound, and that'll be it for Rhett Trilicek, the pitcher of record so far. What a great game by Trilicek, another pitching gem in this series between the two teams. And Trilicek will leave to the left-hander, a tall one. Cabanets comes on the mound in relief. I'm not sure who came out of the game for the Brahmas, but Trilicek will go to second base for the Brahmas. I'm assuming that will bring out of the game the Case Thigpen, but Trilicek stays in the ballgame for the Brahmas. So we'll take a break while Cabanets warms up and come back here in the top of the ninth inning here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gator baseball game here against the Hallettsville Brahmas. We go still in the top of the ninth. Pitch and change for the Brahmas. Brings in number 22, the lefty, Cabanets. He'll face the designated hitter, number 21, Jack Bumpus, a lefty batter. So we got a lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch from Cabanets, way outside. Nicely comes out of the stance and snags it for ball one. So here we go. The Gators got 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Cabanets, next pitch in the dirt. Ball 2.
What a situation for boy wonder Jack Bumpus to maybe get on base here and start a 2-out rally for the Gators.
Bumpus sticks back in. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Cabanets fires it, and it's called strike. Outside part of the plate. It'll be a 2-1 count now. Good job by Jack there. Get Cabanets out of the bullpen and on the mound, get him to throw a strike first. And so now it's a 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch outside. That'll be ball 3 to Bumpus. And Bumpus backs out. Cabanets gathers himself back to the mound, throwing out of the windup. The tall lefty sets to deliver. Bumpus back in, ready from the left batter's box. The pitch on the way. And down the middle for strike 2. Bumpus taking all the way.
Good job of Jack there looking at some pitches, trying to figure out this lefty. So seen 5 pitches already. My sense here is that Jack's going to put something in play as he has all the way down the stretch.
Cabanets fires, and Bumpus swing and a miss on the outside corner. Strike 3, and that'll end the top of the ninth for the Gators. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth where the Brahmas bring up their 6, 7, and 8 hitters to face the Gators and a chance to win and move on in the playoffs. We'll be back here on SHN Sports in just a minute. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gators baseball here in San Marcos, Texas, on the beautiful campus of San Marcos High School, home of the Rattlers. Super appreciative to their faculty, staff, members, employees, hard workers here today, enjoying these two long extra inning baseball games with us, working on their Saturday. We go to the bottom of the ninth here in the Hallettsville Gators battle. Bottom of the ninth, Hallettsville up to bat with a chance to win it here. Gabe Dixon back on the mound for the Gators. First pitch to Lacroix is outside for a ball. Lacroix batting from the right side. Last time he was intentionally walked to set up a opportunity for the Gators to get the force out, and it worked off. Ground ball by Lacroix to third base. Sanchez up with it, throws the first, low in the dirt, and look at Daniel Brady stepping in for Gabe Dixon.
How about
scooping
that?
It and making the out.
You take Gabe Dixon off of first base, and Daniel Brady comes in and fills it on an errant throw by E.J. Sanchez from third base, but wait for Daniel Brady to pick him up there, scoop, and gets the very first out. And you know what? That's a good omen, Wally. Up to this point, it seems like the leadoff hitter's been on every inning.
And now it brings up the next hitter in the lineup. Now it's going to be Cabanets. He did go in for Thigpen. Thigpen came out of the ball game. Trilicek went to second base. And now Cabanets bats, but he's batting from the right side. Throws lefty, bats righty here against the left-hander Gabe Dixon. First pitch in the dirt for a ball. Second pitch on his way. Called strike one. Cabanets not swinging there. Count evens out with one out. One ball, one strike, one out here in the bottom of the ninth. Gabe Dixon ready from the windup and throws the home. Outside corner, but too far. Ball two.
Maybe Nick Chalman's thinking, hey, that's the same put you rung me up on, Blue.
Very similar, but Chalman called on his check swing. Next pitch by Dixon, a breaking ball on the outside. Just too far out, and drops down to 3-1 count here on Cabanets. Dixon back and ready. Fires, and Cabanets takes a hack. Hits a moon ball over to the right side of the infield. Harmon ranges over and makes the catch. And we'll have a conversation later about that one. But he makes the out for the second out of the inning. And a lot of heart sunk. And now we're back in it. Here we go. 2 outs for the Gators. And that brings up the designated hitter on the F4 there by Cabanets. Brings up our designated hitter, Ryan Hermes, for the Brahmas. Number 17, batting from the right side. Gabe Dixon, the lefty, winds up and fires to the plate. Low in the dirt, scooped by Sawyer Scott for the first ball. 1-0 count here to Hermes. Struck out the last at bat. Dixon fires in for a called strike. 1-1 on the count.
You know, before this inning started, Wally, I was going to say, man, we could really use one of those quick innings. Not very many of those against these Brahmas in this series.
Nice pitch, off-speed breaking ball by Gabe Dixon. A swing and a miss by Hermes, and that'll bring the count to 1-2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Dixon dealing a lot more smooth here in the bottom of the ninth. Rock and fire, pitch on the outside corner, and not to the liking, just outside. And that'll even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hermes. Hermes steps back in. Dixon readies and fires. And it's a swinging ball, bounding. Gabe off the mound, fields it, throws to first base on a line. Good. Scoop Daniel Brady. Holy cow, you bring him in and you don't skip a beat. He skips 2 balls in this inning to get the Gators out of the ninth and send this one to the 10th.
I tell you what, Wally, regardless of the outcome of this game, you've just got to love the effort and the athleticism of your Gateway Gators in that situation. Daniel Brady coming off the bench and making picks left and right. That one was even tougher. Just a really, really tough ball that was spiked by Gabe because he had to get rid of it quick. You knew the throw was not going to be good because of the angle. Swinging bunt. Gabe bounds off the mound, throws over there, and Brady picks it out of the dirt, records the 3rd out, and finally the Gators get a quick inning.
That's one thing the Gators did need. You were right, Efren. Haven't gotten the first hitter out in the inning for a while. Great job by Dixon. Settles back in after the raucous 9th inning by the Brahmas and just goes 1, 2, 3. They get him 3 up, 3 down there in the bottom of the ninth. Takes us to the 10th inning. free baseball for all you fans out there. It comes with the price of admission today, so you're getting extra for nothing. And enjoy it here in San Marcos. Overcast skies, cloudy, but no rain during the game. It's been beautiful. You see some sun off in the distance, which is kind of eerie. Not sure I know what it looks like here after all the rain here in Central Texas. But here we go. Top of the 10th, Brahmas back out. Cabanets on the mound again, the big lefty for the Brahmas. He will face the 7, 8, and 9 holes for the Gators. Sawyer Scott, the catcher, will lead us off.
Well, and here's a great situation for Sawyer to get one of those big doubles that he has been known to hit. One of our power guys in our lineup, another double like the one he hit earlier to tie this, to go ahead to put the tying run on board earlier would be helpful right here.
First pitch from Cabanets is called strike. No balls, 1 strike on Sawyer Scott. Cabanets from the windup. Sawyer Scott back in the box and settles in. Cabanets delivers. And low, scoot by nicely there for a ball. 1-1 the count. Top of the 10th, 2-2 ball game. A little different from the Gerald Poth score. I think the end-up score there being 10-9 in 10 innings. Gerald came out ahead. And so a little bit different, but same type of ball game. Good battle back and forth. Pitch from Cabanets. Inside on Sawyer Scott for a ball. And that'll bring the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Sawyer Scott steps out. Back in the box from the right side. Cabanets, the lefty, winds up and delivers. And on the inside quarter, called strike 2. He evens the count out for Cabanets at 2-2. Sawyer Scott take it there. Looked a little inside. Didn't like it, didn't swing, and got a called strike. Here we go, 2-2, no outs. Top of the 10th inning, Sawyer Scott readies in. Cabanets from the windup and delivers. Outside for ball 3. Nice pitch by Cabanets there, going for that corner. Not getting the call, and that'll bring the count full for Sawyer Scott.
Yeah, good at bat here for Sawyer. Always so important to get that lead runner on. Allows you a lot more options as an offense to put things in motion. Let's see if Sawyer can get on here.
Full count pitch delivery. First, it's hit by Sawyer Scott down the first base line, but just foul. Nice shot. Schindler over there made a great play on it, but luckily for Sawyer Scott, foul ball keeps it alive at the bat. But no out there. Fair ball there. Schindler made a good play. Would have put the out at first on Sawyer.
Yeah, good job by Sawyer to battle there in the full count. So let's see if he can win it here.
Sawyer Scott back in the box, ready to go. Cabanets on the mound. The lefty in the windup, and he rocks and fires. And Sawyer Scott rips a pitch to left field in front of the left fielder. Falls in for a base hit. Nice shot by Sawyer Scott, starting the inning right. The leadoff batter on base for the Gators here in the top of the 10th.
Just what the doctor ordered here, and now Gomert has all of his plays in his hand. Let's see what he does here. Daniel Brady coming up. Will he ask him to put the bunt down and get that very, very important go-ahead run into scoring position, or will he let Daniel Brady swing away here? So the chess match begins. Shorty Cook knows the importance of that base runner. What a job by Sawyer Scott battling that 3-2 count and winning it with a nice line drive out to left field. Daniel Brady talking to Coach Gomert here on the third base side. Shorty Cook on the mound talking to his lefty Cabanets. What are we going to do and how are we going to keep that run from getting to second base? We'll see what happens.
Cabanets gives up the single to Sawyer Scott. Stays on the mound. Shorty Cook with a timeout. The infield gathers in, and now they'll break it up. Spin it back to their positions as Cook walks off. Gomert and Brady conversate. Jackson Bowman will be the courtesy runner at first for the catcher, Sawyer Scott. Number 11 for the Gators. Steps on the first base. Great speed at first base, like you said, Efren. And so what's the play here? Gomert calls out the signals. Brady now steps in. Brady from the right side, number 23, is first at bat of the series and of the day here. Bowman with a good lead off first base. Cabanets up and towards the plate. Brady takes a hack at it, fouls it off to the right side, and it's going to be, just on top of the dugout. Nice break for Daniel Brady.
Wow, and something else for those here listening today. In this situation, very important to note, Cabanets, the left-hander, is looking at Jackson Bowman. And so Jackson not able to take a very big lead because the lefty on the mound is not going to allow him to do that. He's staring right at him. So there is an advantage for the Brahmas there in this situation.
Brady now squares the bunt. The pitch on the way. Brady puts down the bunt in front of the mound. Jackson Bowman takes off to second base, and he gets there safely. Brady thrown out of first. Great job by Daniel Brady. Not seeing a lot of bats of the year. younger player on the team. You got Gabe Dixon in front of you on the first base. He steps in, and, man, has he done a job today.
He sure has, and this is one of those situations where a guy that has not had a whole lot of plate time, has not had a lot of at-bats, comes in and asks to put a bunt down against this tough lefty. That angle's not as easy as it might look. Able to do the job, gets it down just enough for Jackson to get in scoring position, and now your Gators have 2 chances to plate that go-ahead run.
Simeon Harmon steps in the 9-hole, number 10 on the team, second baseman. First pitch from Kabanets, called a strike on Harmon. Jackson Bowman down at second base, 1 out, top of the 10th here for the Gators. Harmon so far 3 RBIs in the series, 1 in every game. Doing a good job of scoring the runs when we need them. Ties this ball game here 2-2. And Harmon steps up. Pitch in, low and in the ground. Do a great block by Nicely. Keeps it in front of him, out in front of the plate.
Great block there from keeping Jackson Bowman from going second to third. But, again, Simeon Harmon here at the plate has had 2 RBIs yesterday in these playoff games. Be a great time right here for a base hit.
Jackson Bowman gets his lead off second. Kabanets from the stretch comes set. Harmon in the box. 1-1 count, 1 out here in the top of the 10th. Pitch on the way. Harmon takes it, and it's going to be called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and the battle begins. Now, the last time, remember now, Harmon was down 0-2, and one of his at-bats bites off the pitch, muscles it down the third baseline under the glove of Lockwall for a base hit that scored Bowman the first time go around. See if we can do it again. 1-2 the count, pitch on the way, and Harmon drives it up the middle. Second baseman ranges over, makes the play to first base, and Harmon slides in, but out. Nice play by the second baseman, Trilicek. Moves the runner over. Jackson Bowman now to third. 2 outs for the Gators. Great hustle by Harmon, but a great play by Trilicek to get it, build it, and get it over to Schindler for the 4-3 putout.
But what a great job of Simeon there, knowing the situation. You got to put that ball in play, and yes, he does move him over another 90 feet. So now the speedy Jackson Bowman, now he's on the opposite side of the left-hander. He can take a bigger lead. Something in the dirt will score Jackson with his elite speed.
Chris Barlin steps in, the leadoff hitter. He browns one foul. Little dribbler towards the dugout for the Brahmas. Nicely runs it down back to his pitcher. So Barlin steps in, 0 for 1 now the count. 2 outs, top of the 10th inning, 2-2 ball game. But the Gators have the go-ahead run. I apologize. The go-ahead run, 90 feet away. A wild pitch, pass ball here. Scores a run with Jackson Bowman's speed on third. Now Cabanas back in the windup, and he fires towards home. Inside, wild pitch, and here comes Bowman. Here's the play at the plate. Bowman goes in, and he doesn't even slide. He scores the run. And what did we say, Efren? Moving the runners around was the best play. You got that speed on third base, and it pays off on a wild pitch there by Cabanas.
Speed kills, but the most important part of that is quality at-bats ahead of it. Gets him on base, get him from first to second, get him from second to third. These kind of things can happen. And you have to remember now the Brahmas are now at the end of their rotation. These pitchers are not going to have as much control as the horses that they started with. Nonetheless, your Gateway Gators stream ahead here in the top of the 10th inning. 2
balls now. Low call there for a ball on Chris Barlin. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count, 2 outs here in the top of the inning. The Gators have pushed across a run here in the top of the 10th. They're taking the lead 3-2 in this ball game. Cabanets back in the windup. Barlin takes a timeout. Good job there, breaking the momentum. Get Cabanets off his line there. Make him reset. The big lefty steps back up on the mound. Barlin checks himself, gets back in the box from the right side. Barlin ready, and Bonnet's on the delivery, and Barlin bounds it back up the middle. He's got quick speed. Here comes Trilicek, throws to first base. No! He is safe. Great hustle by Barlin. Another one of the speedy runners here for the Gators. Uses the speed, beats the throw. Throw gets away down past the first baseman. Great job by the right fielder. Trace Jordan coming over and keeping Barlin at first base.
Well, and again, this is one of those situations where putting the ball in play is the name of the game. You don't have to hit home runs. You don't have to hit doubles. You just got to put the ball in play and let your speedy runners make plays. And right there, Chris did. Slid to first base. The throw was wild on a really tough play up the middle. And so now here comes the Gators again. Another runner on board.
Barlin credited with an infield single. Great speed there. Good throw, doesn't even beat him. He dove and got there to the base. Dixon steps in, and the first pitch from Cabanets. Fouled off back over the backstop, and a strike on Gabe Dixon. So we got 0 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The speedy Chris Barlin on first base for the Gators. Gators have pushed across the run here in the top of the 10th, lead the ballgame 3-2. Barlin with the lead off at first. Cabanets in the stretch, looks at him, fires home. In the dirt, blocked by Nicely very well. Nicely's just done a great job all series long, an impressive catcher for the Brahmas. And he does a good job there. Keeps Barlin at first base. Even the count now, 1-1 for Dixon.
Well, and you got to think here, Wally, in these situations, that catcher's been back there for, three, almost 4 hours now since this game started.
Gabe Dixon lines a ball for a base hit into left field in front of the left fielder. What a shot there. Cabanets comes up and fields it. And I got that wrong. The left fielder is not Cabanets. I messed it up, and I'll get it. Gabe Dixon, what a great job. He had a 1-1 count, drives that pitch in between the shortstop and third baseman into left field. 2 runners on, first and second base, 2 outs, bring it up, Noah Krieger.
And you know that these Brahmas are not going to go down easy. Another run would be so helpful here to add on, to tack on. 4-2 is a lot better than 3-2. Noah Krieger, who has not had what he's done all season long. He's been a great hitter for us, power hitter, hitting for average, one of the team leaders. Right here would be a great situation for him to go ahead and pick himself up and score. Chris Barlin, who has speed from second base.
Klimacek, the left fielder, was the one that got the ball in and kept Barlin at second base. So now we have runners on first and second. Krieger steps in. Cabanets, the lefty on the mound, fires in. Low ball 1 to Krieger. So it'll be 1-0. The count, 2 outs. One run across the plate for the Gators here in the top of the 10th. 3-2 lead for the Gators. Noah Krieger up to bat from the right side. Cabanets set. Barlin takes off towards third, and he's going to steal third base. Great jump by Barlin. Like you said, that speed right there kind of makes you wonder why we didn't have Dixon go into second to get the double steal and take the force off. But nonetheless, we have runners now at the corners, 2 outs, and another ball on Krieger makes it 2-0 on the count.
And again, let's go back to what we talked about with Nicely. He's been behind the plate, had that one getaway here, so Cabanets might be limited in his pitch selection here in this situation. He's not going to want to spike one and allow that really, really important second run coming in. But Chris Barlin with good speed opposite his back, so he can take a bigger lead at third.
Pitch into Krieger, low and inside, blocked by Nicely. Ball 3 on the count. Yeah, I tell you what, that was close right there. Nicely doing a great job of keeping that ball from the backstop. Barlin would have scored. Barlin, just like Jackson Bowman, both in the track team of Gators, very fast runners. Great to have him on third base in this situation. Gabe Dixon on first. Not a big lead at first, being with Cabanets being the lefty. He sets and comes home, and it's going to be ball 4. Krieger walks, and now we're going to have the bases loaded for the Gators here with 2 outs, and it brings up E.J. Sanchez, the cleanup hitter, but that's not going to do it. We're going to have a timeout here. Shorty Cook's going to call time. That's going to be it for Cabanets. Second visit of the inning. Cabanets is going to come out of this ball game, and he's going to be replaced on the mound. We'll take a quick break, come back when we figure out and get our lineups set for the Brahmas. So we'll be back here in just a minute, back at the top of the 10th on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Gateway Gators baseball team in the area playoff series with the Hallettsville Brahmas. We're in the top of the 10th inning. Pitching change for the Brahmas. Schindler, the first baseman, goes to the mound. Kabanets, the pitcher, moves to left field, and Klimacek, the left fielder, goes to first base. Another lefty on the mound for the Brahmas. First pitch from him to E.J. Sanchez, high and outside for a ball. E.J. steps in, the cleanup hitter for the Gators with the bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the 10th. The Gators have pushed across 1 run, threatening with many more here if a base hit were to come. Second pitch from Schindler, outside to Sanchez for ball 2. Sanchez going to take a pitch, I'm assuming, to see if Schindler throws a strike. Right now, not looking too steady. Schindler comes in, but has played a great first base in the series. And from the wind-up, fires and outside. On the outside part, gets the called strike, and it'll bring the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Strike?
Yeah. Called a strike on the outside corner by the blue. Schindler resets and delivers. Sanchez takes a cut, drives it into center field. It's coming in. The center fielder dives and makes the catch. What a catch by Bluda. Great job of diving and making the catch to keep the Gators from any more runs. And that's the end of the top of the 10th inning. After 9.5, 3 Gators, 2 Brahmas. What a baseball game. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Gators. 2 runs, 9 hits, and 0 errors for the Brahmas. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th inning for the Brahmas here in just a minute on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports presentation, Gateway Gator Baseball. Here in the bottom of the 10th inning, the Gateway Gators 3, the Hallettsville Brahmas 2, coming up here in the bottom of the 10th. 1 run needed to tie the ball game for the Brahmas, 2 to win it. And we got Gabe Dixon back on the mound. The Brahmas bring up in the inning the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. It'll start off with the pitcher now, Rylan Schindler. First pitch from Dixon, breaking ball. Inside corner for a strike. And 0-1 is the count on Schindler.
And in this situation again, Wally, can the Gators keep that leadoff hitter from getting on? Makes things so much easier when you do.
Dixon fires low in the dirt and blocked by Sawyer Scott. Evens the count out, 1-1. The lefty, Gabe Dixon, in for his 3rd inning of work. From the windup, Schindler, the lefty, bases off, ball in, and a called strike 2 on Schindler. Nice pitch by Dixon there, a little off speeder. And he gets the strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here. Bottom of the 10th. 3-2 Gators lead. Brahmas got to push across a run to stay alive. Pitch from Dixon. Slap to the shortstop. Nick Chalman up with it. Fires to first base. Good throw to Daniel Brady. Ed Brady's got to be proud. Daniel playing a great game at first base, stepping in for Gabe Dixon. And 1 out. 6-3 on the putout. Great job by Chalman.
Just what the doctor ordered. A quick out.
Like you
said.
Leaving
that lead, getting that lead runner on, avoids the stressful situation. So now 2 outs away from punching their ticket to the next round.
6-3 on the putout. First out of the inning. Bluda steps in. Right side for the Brahmas. Dixon fires. Bluda pops it up. Harmon drifts back in. It's out into the outfield. Krieger scoots in and the right field. Krieger steps in and makes the catch for the F7 recorded out. And that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th.
Well, and when you're looking at Gabe Dixon's curveballs. It seems like they're really easy to hit, but with these aggressive hitters, what happens, Wally, is they get under that pitch and they pop them up. So their aggression now is working against them.
And a substitute here by Coach Shorty Cook of the Hallettsville Brahmas. No, due up right now would be number 4, Tracy Jordan, the right fielder. He's going to be lifted for Matt Bunyak. Matthew Bunyak, the junior infielder, number 21, steps in for the Brahmas. His first at bat of the series. And what a chance for Bunyak here. He steps in with 2 outs, bottom of the 10th, down a run, and has got to put something up for the Brahmas, get on base to keep it alive if Hallettsville wants to continue on. Gabe Dixon takes his time as Bunyak gets ready, swinging the bat a few times as he steps into the box. Bunyak put in it. What a tough situation effort for this young kid. Steps into the box, two outs, bottom of the 10th inning, down 1 run. And Gabe Dixon rocks and fires. First ball, curveball. Called strike in the outside corner. Great pitch by Gabe Dixon.
But, yeah, you feel for number 21. Gets inserted into the game, and his only responsibility is to save this season from being over.
Gabe Dixon rocks and fires. Second pitch, called strike. Bunyak not swinging, and an 0-2 count. All right, folks. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th inning. Gators lead it 3-2 in the deciding Game 3 of this series. What a battle going on. Gabe Dixon from the windup and fires home. Swing, check down to first base. No, he doesn't have it to call it here, says Bunyak. Checked his swing. I tell you what, that didn't look much different than Nick Chalmers'
That was
check
a
swing.
little bit more aggravated than Nick Chalmers' check swing.
Nonetheless, Bunyak stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th. Dixon rocks and fires towards the plate. Curveball, strike 3. Bunyak swinging strikeout, and that's the ball game, folks. The Gators rush the mound. Gabe Dixon pitches a 3-inning gem there, coming in relief. And what a ball game, folks. 3-2. The Gateway Gators have won it. They will advance to play Yoakum in the next round of the UIL baseball playoffs. What a baseball game. And Efren, before anything else, hats off to a Hallettsville Brahmas team that was amazing. They end the season at 29-4-1, and 2 of their 4 losses come to this Gateway Gator baseball team in this series.
Well, listen up here. This is a legitimate top-ranked team. They pitched, they hit, they ran, they did everything they were supposed to do, but the Gateway Gators were up to the test. And we were wondering before we started yesterday, Wally, who are these 2019 Gateway Gators? Ladies and gentlemen, we have found out who this Gateway Gator is here in 2019. This Gateway Gator team is legitimate in 2019. Watch out. Here we come, Yoakum.
I tell you what, a hearty thank you to the San Marcos Rattlers staff for being here today, allowing us to use the facilities and broadcast this game for the Gateway Gators. What a baseball game. What 2 games we're just witnessed here. We got here later for the game between Gerald and Poth. What a battle there into the 10th inning. Gerald, the visiting team, comes out, puts a run up in the 10th, wins 10-9, and another team from 25-3A advances on. Gateway wins it in the top of the bottom of the 10th.
Hey, Wally, such a pleasure working with you today. Gator Nation out there, if you're still listening, you should be flying your Gator flags proud. Your team came out here and absolutely competed at a very, very high level. Gator Nation is loud and proud here in Central Texas. On we go to the next round.
Now we'll reach out to you folks and tell you to be able to bring the games to you via the SHN Sports website. We need your support. We got any businesses out there that want to support the Gators in the broadcast here? Please reach out to David Bumpus, SHN Sports owner and operator Rob Hipp. Get us some sponsorships. Let's get out to the next one and be able to bring it to the fans unable to make it out to the games. Those that are at home. What a blessing today to see Brandy Chalman back out here, and what an inspiration. And these Gators never gave up. And what an awesome opportunity to watch them move on. Hallettsville, they have nothing to hang their hat on, Efren. They played a great series. They played a great season. You end the season at 29-4-1. You have nothing to hang your hat on. These 2 teams locked horns, and they battled. 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. What do you ask for? Nothing better.
No reason to hang your head, like you said, Wally. Tough Hallettsville Brahmas team. I think what ended up happening here, Wally, is the Gateway Gators were just a little bit deeper in pitching. In baseball, no matter who you are, you know what it's about. Baseball is about pitching. The Gators just had one more pitcher today than the Brahmas did.
Exactly right. You talk about the 3 starters for the Brahmas. Turgach, let's see here, Lacroix, and Trilicek. 3 gems pitched by those guys. You turn around and you look at the Gators. Noah Krieger, Thomas Huell, Cole Johnson. 3 gems pitched by the Gators.
Hey.
But then you come back with Huell. Dangerous. You come in with a Gabe Dixon that no one has seen a lot of. And, boy, he comes in and does 3 innings of mop-up job.
Ended up being the difference, Wally. Ended up being the difference. We went one deeper than them. But, wow, just a championship heavyweight bout today. Your Gators come out on top. Could not be prouder of this group of young men.
We'll find out and update. Check your Facebook and all that about the Gators. The Yoakum series will be decided here in the next couple of days to find out when and where the Gators will play. But we just thank SHN Sports for the opportunity to broadcast the Gateway games and this series against Hallettsville online. And we appreciate Rob Hipp and the opportunity he's given us. And we thank the fans for chipping in, helping out, and offsetting the cost for the Gateway Gators so we can bring the baseball to the fans back home. Great job by Coach Gomert, Coach Hankey, Coach Johnson, and the Gateway boys. We end this game right here, 3-2. Gators win it in 10 innings. The free baseball proved to be a fantastic game. That's all we got here from San Marcos. We thank you for listening in, and we'll just thank you and hope we'll be back next week to bring you more Gator baseball. Thanks for listening on HN Sports, and good night.
The proceeding was a presentation of the SHNSports.com broadcast network. This broadcast was under the direction and copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com. On behalf of Rob Hipp, Director of Operations, Carl Shoning, Director of Broadcasting, Mike Capps, the SHN Broadcast Academy Director, and all of our crews who make these broadcasts possible, we wish you well and thanks for joining us.